All right, friends, as promised in my post game, I'm going to polish off a bottle of Santa Margarita Pinot Grigio. I don't even know what year, 2019, I think, but it's all good. You know, had myself a bottle of wine. We got a couple days off from the challenge. You know, as you know, going into today, things were bad. Stuck $1 million fucking dollars. $1 million, 25 buy-ins with like 7,000-8,000 hands. Didn't look good. Doesn't look good, you know, from there. Had to go down to the Bellagio, get some chips, cash them in for cash, take them over to Caesars, make a big old deposit so I felt comfortable to play. And I came into today saying, you know what, YOLO, we're buried. And we got two choices, right? We either lay down, say, okay, you win. Let's try to, you know, minimize the damage. Or say, fuck that, YOLO, throw the Hail Mary, 4th and 31, just keep throwing deep, and we shall see how it goes. And you're about to see how it goes. 20K pots with Showdown on Vino. Let's have a look. Okay. All righty. So, as you can see, the stack, well, the stacks didn't get deep because it was just my stack that got deep on both tables. I had like a lot of money on there, you know. All right, so first hand we got the King 3 with the King of Clubs. We flop, I don't know, gut shot, flush draw, goofy King High, check. He bets a little bit. I make the minimum goofy chick re-raise. I did a lot of goofy shit. Now we're going to bet this turn, small, make the straight on the river. Yeah, we're going big for value. He does call. He had the same straight. I think I might have won because for sure I would have bluffed the river. I don't know if he calls with ace high. Anyway, now we got the deuce 6 of spades. We got a middle pair. We got a backdoor flush. So we're going to, what the hell did we do? We check raised? I guess we check raised. Okay. And now we're going to bet a little bit. And now we're going to bet a lot. Because fuck it, we got a flush. Yeah. Back door. Jacks can eat it on that one, right? We hit our backdoor spades. All right, now we got the jack deuce of spades. Going to open, as you can see, for 1,000. No more of this goofy 960 shit. Make it 1,000. He calls. I bluffed the flop. Now I made a pair of deuces. Fuck it. Backdoor flush gets there. Everything. I don't know. But I got jacks and deuces. So you know what? Eat it. Big raise. Baboomski. Big raise. Ooh, yeah, he had a pair. What are you going to do, you know? What are you going to do when you got a pair? I mean, shit. You know, it's like hard to fold those hands in that spot when you don't have no blockers, right? Okay, so we 3-bet. Now we got a pair of sevens. Middle pair. We're going to bet because why not? Turns at 10. I don't know. Check. He bets a third pot. I'm not folding. I got a pair. River's a club. Check. He checks. Okay, cool. I'll take it. You have jack high. That's not good. I have the 7. The 7. I'll take it. King 5 of hearts. Open. He 3-bets. I call. Playing goofy. Gonna go kooky on this one. We're gonna raise big. Fuck it. Why not? Now we make a pair of 5s. Maybe I should have just kept bombing, but fuck it. I decided to check. Maybe my 5s are good. And he checks. I don't know. See, what do you got? You got a pair? You got a pair? You win? You got a pair. What are you going to do? I forgot to fire the last bullet or the second bullet or I don't know which bullet. Hey, there's a straight there. Old there for old DNegs, not straight. Okay, we got the back door. All right, we're going to bet pot. Let's fucking go. Shit. All right. Well, we still have the nuts. We didn't lose. Right? But now we're going to try to get some value maybe. He check raised. All right, you have an ace. Cool. Let's chop it. Whoo, I guess I'm glad it wasn't a heart, because that would have been bad. But still, man, you flop the joint, you know. You kind of want to win. There was no way I could win big money on the river unless, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, open, call, because I'm suited. Flop top pair. He checks. I'll bet, because I got top pair a little bit. On flush boards, you usually don't bet as much. You bet small, 20, 25, 27%, some shit like that. Now he bets pot. Come on, eat a dick. What do you got? You got something here? What do you got? You got Stugats. He got a chooch hand there with the 9-6. Okay, got the King 4 spades. We're going to definitely fucking call this one. All right, top pair. Let's go. Queen on the turn. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Shit, that's not good. Half pot. Well, 9. I don't know. Maybe I should fucking... Nah, I can't bluff. I have too good a hand, right? So he checks. I'll just check. Maybe king is good. I don't know. He could have just given up, right? Like some stupid ace. He had kings and 10s. I don't know. He probably calls me anyway. 2 fucking pair. It doesn't matter. Straight, schmate, whatever. Call. All right. I raise. He 3-bets. I call. Now we got the middle pin. He bets I'm not folding the fucking middle pin. Now we got the middle pin and the open-ended straight draw. So we're going to bet 40%. Flush got there. But listen, I got 3/4. I ain't fucking dogging this one. 2/3 pot. Come on. Pay. What do you got, a 9? Pay. Pow. Nice. Good to run good. All right. Do 7 of spades. Call because we're suited. Yeah. Let's go. We're trying to push the envelope, so we're going to check raise with pair and a flush draw. Even though he overbets, I don't give a fuck. We're ready to go. We're ready to get it in, right? Spot like this with a hand like this, there's no way you can be drawing dead on the flop. Now we make the flush, so we good. Go ahead and bet. Hope he pays it off. 4, whatever. He doesn't have a 4. If he has a full house, whatever. Fuck it. Just bet. I got 20K left. He calls. Okay, sweet. Oh, fuck. Well, he had a big hand too, bro. He had open and straight draw. We had a pair, but he had open and straight draw and a better flush draw. Happens, flush over flush. Such is life. What are you going to do? All right, now we have nothing, so we call. All right, now we really have fucking Stugat. So I'm going to bet because fuck it. I hope he doesn't have a king or an 8. If he doesn't have a king or an 8, he can't call, right? Especially if I fucking stick it all in now. All right, let's just do it because we're gambling today. He called? Oh, fuck. Queen? All right. So I guess, you win. Too bad I didn't have a fucking 8 or a king. What are you going to do? Next time. All right, kings. He moves in. Cool. He has queens. Let's fucking go, baby. Kings against queens. He's beaten me with a lot of these goofy underpairs. Like 3-4 times already. But not this time, baby. You ain't going to beat me. No way. You're just going to chop. Wah, wah. Okay. Let's just try aces then. Because kings didn't work. I'm going to 4-bet him because, aces. It's a good flop. Got the ace of hearts. He goes all in. Whatever. What do you want from my life? I'm never folding. You have a 7s, 8s, 9s. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm calling. And we faded it. We faded. Aces held. All right. 284 on that table. Yeah. Looking good, right? Sexy. King 6. Fuck it. 3-bet sometimes. Yeah. Now we got bottom pair with a goofy backdoor king high flush draw. So we're going to bomb big. Fuck it. Bomb big one time. He calls big. Booyakasha. Kings and 6s. Hello, Moto. 2/3 pot. All right, now we just jam it in there because, listen, what other bet size is there when he's got 25K? And he has the queen. Well, what are you going to do, Get a pair. When you have a pair, sometimes you just have to fucking press call. And then he did. Okay, jacks now. Let's go with jacks. Jacks open. 4-bet, blah, blah, blah. He checks. I'm betting standard. This spot, you bet 25%, you bet 30%, you bet 20. A lot of different ways to play. But you basically go bet, which is what we do. He's small. He calls. All right, fuck it. If he has a 3, he can eat a dick. Check. I'm betting it. You got a 10, you're going to pay me. Got to pay me with a 10, buddy. You got to pay me with 8s too, I guess. Sometimes. I don't know. Check the solver. See if 8s is a call. Go check. See what solver says. Okay, now we have 10-8. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. He 3-bets. I call with 10-8 sometimes. Why not? Straight draw. Fuck it. Booyakasha. Straight on the turn. We're going to raise him now. We got to get it in. Got to get it in. Got that 10 of spades there. I don't know why that matters, but fuck it. Who cares? I got a straight. That's it. I got a straight. I got a pot size bet left. I'm going to put it in. Hope he calls with some top pair. Yeah. Well, he had a 10 in his hand, so he blocked my straights. Makes sense. Okay? I'm going to 3-bet the ace jack because it's a good hand. All right? Now we flop the top pair. I'm going to certainly bet it. He raises. Okay, well, what do you want from my life? I'm not folding. Top pair jack kicker. I'm not betting either because, you've said you've got a monster. All right, well, go ahead. Maybe you have 3-4. I don't know. Fuck. Oh, you 3-5. Phew. 4 in the river would have been ugly, huh? Right? Raise with that gutter ball. Okay. King 6 now. I call. I got a king. What are you gonna do? Top pair. I'm not folding ever. Put a sledgehammer to my fucking... Now kings and 6. I don't give a shit what the fuck comes. I'm calling. All right, it's backdoor spades and straights and shit. Who cares? Raise fucking big. Yeah. And king, queen with the king of spades. Okay, good. Now, 3-4 suited. Yeah, call 3-bet. Now we got 2 pair. Shit, straight's there, flush is there. What are you going to do? I'm not even going to bother betting, but I'm definitely going to pay him off. Fuck, I got 2 pair, right? What do you got? Oh, what the fuck is that trashy shithead? Okay, straight's good. Okay, now king 4. Whatever. You basically fucking play every hand that's up, right? Check, call. Check, fuck yeah, king now. King, check. That's all right, I fucking call. Now I have a straight blocker. Straight blocker, he was 1.5 pot. I got straight blocker and a king. Got to call and fucking see the 5. See the bad news. What are you going to do? Such is life. Now king 7 suited, braze, 3 bets, okay. I got a fucking pair. Hold on now, hang on. Okay, he checks, fuck it. I'm betting. I don't know why I'm betting. I'm just betting because I got a pair. Now the river's a blank. I'm not betting no more. I'm done. Done betting. All right, you have a 6, I have a 7. 7 beats 6. Fair game. 3 bet, 9-10 suited. Okay, now we got the top pair on the board. Top pair on the board. We're going to bet a little small this time. Sometimes big, sometimes small, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes check. Check on the turn. Now fucking let's bluff at it. Let him pay it off with some stupid, goofy-ass fucking hand. What is he going to call? No fucking pair. Ace high. Okay. Ching. There we go. Now, call 3 bet because fuck it. I have 10-8. I don't give a fuck no more. Got a fucking pair. You're not getting me out with a sledgehammer now. What do you want to bet? How much? Bet it all. I don't care. All right. Good check because guess what? I didn't give a fuck there. I was committed. I was feeling it there. You know what I mean? All right. Now we got queen deuce. 2 pair. Queens and deuce is going to bet. Queens and deuce is going to bet because I got 2 pair. All right. Nice clean fucking river there. We got a bet pot. And what is he going to call with? Something good? Yeah, he had a king. What do you know? Could have beat me, but he didn't. Queens and deuces held. Bottom 2 pairs. I'll take it. 10-6 now. All right, here we go. We have dick shit nothing, but we're going to bet because sometimes we do that. And then I'm going to call because I don't know. Fuck it. Yes. Open end straight. He checked. Fuck it. Let's bluff. I have the 10 of hearts. That's a stupid card, but who cares? Fuck it. Pot. You call? Yeah, you win. You know what I mean? 3 4s. What do you want from my life? I needed a 5 or a 9. I don't know. Maybe a heart. Maybe I would have went bonkers. Who knows? All right. Now I got queen high. Why did I check raise this fucking stupid boy? I have nothing. Oh, no, never mind. I have something. I have a queen. I have the queen. The top pair, so I'm going to bet the pot, and he's going to call me with, what did you call me? A jack. That's no good. Could have folded the turn, bro. Got fucking ace high. You just call always? Ace high? Come on, man. Let me have one once in a while. 3 bet. Bet big. I give up. Oh, no. Never mind. Now I'm value betting. Fuck it. Value bet. He calls. All right. Chop it up. Ace 9. Seems like a fair spot. Ace jack now. 3 bet. He calls. All right. We got the jack of spades. I don't know why that matters, but fuck it. Solver says something about the spades and the this and the that and the block and the this and the block. We bet twice. Fuck it. Now we give up. And he bets, and I don't buy this bullshit. What do you got? You're going to show me a fucking 6 or an 8? I don't buy it. Stugotz, missed flush draw. He's got Stugotz. We pay that one off. Okay, now we got the king jack of spades. He 4 bets. Okay, fuck it. Let's see. Now what? All right, I got top pair. What you going to do? Are you going to bet? I don't give a shit. I'm not folding. Okay, check. Fucking you check. That's fine. I'm not betting now. But, I mean, what the fuck? You got a 6? You're trying to say you have a 6? What are you trying to say you fucking have here? I don't even know what you're trying to say you have. Yo, I guess that. Stugotz. I'll take that money too. Nice. Okay. Queen 7 suited. Well, we're going to call. We only got the top pair, the highest pair on the fucking board. Check call. Turns a 7. Fuck it. I don't know. Top 2. I don't give a shit. Let's go. You got a straight. What do you want for my life? Check raise. All of it. Eat everything. You take all the money. Double X pot. Fuck it. 2 pair. Oh! Oh, baby. 2 pair. Queens and 7s. Yeah. I like it. All right, here we go. We got fucking dick. King 7. Nothing. Check call. I don't know why. Because fuck it. Now we have gut shot. Check. All right, now we're going to bluff this river. 2/3 pot. And he raises. Okay, you know what we should do? Just for once in a blue moon? Say fuck it. I have a 7 in my hand. I don't shit. He doesn't have 5-7. We're like Fuck, he had 2 5s. All right, and what am I thinking? You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Sometimes you got to bluff. And some of them got, I'm not showing you the bluffs because fuck that. But there were some. You know what I mean? All right, 3 jacks. Bet, because I got 3 jacks. Good turn card, a lot of flushes and shit. I'm going to bet big. You got 20K left, whatever. You got a flush, you got a straight, fucking suck it. Oh, I'm so sorry you hit a 9. Not like it mattered. You probably fucking... Anyway. 7-3 suited, fuck it. Let's go. 9-7-3. We got 2 fucking pairs. He checks, I bet. He's check raise. All right, you know what? Let's fucking spaz it out and just put it in now and see what you got. Huh? Why not? 1 bullet. Oh, fuck. You had the 9-7. Okay, well, it wouldn't have mattered, right? I got 7-3. It's like I'm, you know? They're like, oh, if I just called, I'm going to fold the turn because I got not full house. What the fuck? All right. Key 3 bets. I have suited ace. Let's see. I've got a gutter ball now. Backdoor flush draw. Ace high. Now we got the steel wheel draw. Not flush draw. All the shit. Now ace on the river. Fuck it. He checks fuck it. All you can eat buffet. Put it in there. Maybe he'll call me with a queen. That's not a queen. What the hell? So he was hoping I had 7 high, I guess. I didn't. Whew. Baby, that's nice. This is a good day. You know? Okay. Speaking of good day, 3 bets. We call with the 8s because it's a good hand. He bets I'm going to raise because let's go. He re-raises? All right. You have aces or jacks? Nope. Just ace jack. Let's make quads on the turn. You guys want to do that? Because that's a fun way to play the fucking game. I'll do that. Quads on the turn. Win ourselves a nice juicy pot on that one, eh? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now we got an ace and a 3. Now we got dick, but we got the ace of diamonds for backdoor shenanigans. You know what I mean? Backdoor shenanigans. All right, now we got an ace. Hang on for dear life. Oh, shit, he overbets. Fuck. Okay, what are you going to do? Deuce. So we block 3-4. Whatever. Fucking blocker, schmocker, whatever. He bets fucking his thing. He does fucking jam shit with 6 fucking high. Okay, I'll pay you. I have a pair. Every once in a while, you know, you got to give it the old call, eh? All right, this is a good one. 4-bet the ace queen. He calls. Bet small, because that's what you do, you know. I would make an ace. We still bet small. Just fucking standard. And he goes all in. All right, you have me beat. What are you going to do? I'm not folding ace fucking queen here, right? Nope. Holy shit, he's got a lot of outs. Fuck. I thought he made it, too. When I looked at that card originally, I was like, fucking 3. Damn it. No, he's got 7 high. So, we win a nice one on the end there. We won 390K. I was up about 460, 450, which is a nice chunky win. And then I bluffed off that king 7 hand you saw, or I was like trying to get him off a straight. Oopsie doopsie. Maybe not advisable, huh? But what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to fucking fire it in there and hope that the guy folds. But yeah, so we lost 300 in the last session. I showed you how to do that in a few hours. Well, now I showed you how it can go the other way, where we win we have the biggest win of any session, despite the narrative that, you know, I can't win big in a session, only, you know, possible to go the other way. It's going to be hard for me to win 3. Well, you know what? Shit went good for me today, and I was able to do it. So we cut the lead. We cut 40% of the deficit. Down $1 million. Now we're only down about 600K, about 15 buy-ins. We won 10 buy-ins today. So we got 7-something thousand hands left. We're going to continue to put the pedal to the metal and play super aggro in spots and go ham and try to make this a contest. I think all in EV. So basically, all in EV, for those of you who don't know what that fucking is that's when the card. So basically, when you try to figure out how many big blinds per 100 you're winning or losing against a player, you always do it all in EV adjusted because it gives you a more pure number, right? It's not perfect, but it's more pure. So all in EV, we're down 320. I don't know. We're down like 300,000 or some shit like that. So half the deficit is all in EV, right? So listen, we're doing okay. You know, we had a rocky road on the comeback trail. We'll be back Monday, and we're going to click some fucking buttons and do some jackass monkey shit and hope that the cards fall in our favor. Peace, y'all.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is High Stakes Feud. Daniel Negreanu versus Doug Polk. It is round 32. My name is Jeff Platt. Thanks for being here. Joining me today, we were just working on its title, and we ended up with this. Poker Central Superstar, Rinkema. Remko, welcome back to High Stakes Feud.
That's a lot of praise, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me on the Feud again. Last Friday, I was on the couch. I was glued to the screen. We did the Chromecast on the big TV, watched the whole session. Sausages may or may not have been in hand, but it was definitely quite a match to watch. 10 buy-ins Daniel's way, I believe. And yeah, I could not be more excited to be invited on the next show, which is going to be today, and seeing what this turns into, because I saw on Twitter that Daniel is going monkey style.
Yes, he is. 1,046 hands played on Friday, the longest session of the challenge, and Negreanu's biggest win of the challenge, plus $390,000. We're about 19,000 hands through with this 25,000 hand heads-up feud. Two tables of 200, 400 heads-up. No limit Texas Hold'em on WSOP.com. Remko, do you see the door open now, perhaps, for just an all-time comeback?
Let me just say that I think today might be the most important session of all of them, because there's one of two options, I believe. Okay. If Daniel continues his, as he called it himself, monkey style pushing buttons, if he continues that, there is one of two outcomes, and that does not include winning or losing one buy-in. That includes winning or losing 10 buy-ins. So I think we're going to see blood today. The question is just, what side is the blood going to be on? So I'm not sure how many Rocky references you've prepared for the show today, Jeff, but I think you're going to need all of them.
I am fully prepared. We can go Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably going to skip 5 as far as references are concerned. Maybe we'll bring in some Creed references. Who knows? All right, Remko, that opens the door perfectly into prediction. So your prediction for today's session, for round 32, who you got and by how much?
Daniel, 6 buy-ins.
Woo, 6 ball. A 6 ball.
buy-in.
All right, just that 240K number even. 240K smooth.
On the dot.
Okay, I'm going to go a little less. I'm going to go Negreanu 3-ish buy-ins. Give me Negreanu plus $122,204. So our predictions are set. Let us know in the chat what you guys are predicting as we say what's up to Daniel, to Chase, to Barack, to Jeanette, to Jason, to Bojan, to Sam's slot channel. Hope the slots are treating you well, my friend, to Jason, to Justin, to Les, all of you asking about Brent Hanks. Yes, it was a brutal day yesterday for Mr. Hanks and the entire Hanks family. I did see a note from the YouTube account that is Hanks. It says, automated message, Hanks is still drowning his sorrows and will return on Friday. You think that's enough time off for Brent?
No, definitely not. Until the next time we see NFL action where people are wearing Buffalo uniforms, I think he will not be okay. Whatever he says, don't believe him. He is in a very weak mental state right now, and I worry tremendously about his well-being. Jeff, I heard you were on the scene. Did he like leave the room to cry in a corner? Like what was happening?
Yeah, it was pretty ugly at multiple times. Posted some clips on Twitter at Jeff Platt where you guys can go through the trials and tribulations. Remko, I wanted to mention somebody else in the chat. His name is Daniel Negreanu, and he says, literally wrote 240K in my journal. Nice call, Remko. So Remko, I feel like you and DNegs are just aligned right now.
That's the way it should be. I read souls for a living. I don't know how to play any technical poker, but I do make a good read every now and then. So, and on that note, I am done for the day. I will say no more from here on out. See you guys later. Peace out.
We'll see you later. Thanks for joining us, Remko. Very much appreciated. So here we go. The table on the left, table 1. The table on the right is table number 2, and that table features a 4-bet right off the bat by Doug Polk.
Wow. I mean, the whole purpose of this show is to talk as little as possible about the action, and then all of a sudden he's winning 10 buy-ins. So hopefully that works out again today on the show. If you guys have any questions for Jeff or myself or things to speculate on, please drop it in the chat. Yes, the bike in the background is, as always, featured on any of my streams. You guys can rely on that.
7, 5, 3, 2 hearts, 20K in the pot. Polk betting small. Right, the nitty-gritty of the poker analysis might not be there with the two of us, but I can guarantee you the energy will certainly be there with the two of us. Now 29K in the pot after DNegs check calls. Another 5 on the turn. 2 hearts, 2 clubs on the board.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm very curious about from a poker technical side of things is, will Doug adjust in any sort of way? Or will he, as always, stick to his GTO game plan, which, in a vacuum is always the right approach. Play good poker, win money. All right.
And he is going to win money here with the ace-king versus Negreanu's ace-queen. Decent start for Polk. You think Polk's confidence is shook at all after last Friday's session?
I think he'll never admit that it has been affected, even if it was. I think perhaps a bit of frustration with the session is normal. However, I do think that Doug is such a good player, and the way he reached the top was not by being worried about a 10 buy-in down session.
Right.
That's just not how you get to the top of this game. So I think that it probably won't affect him all that much. But I do think that, as I said earlier, if there's blood today, and if the blood is on Daniel's hands, then I think that he might be just getting a little bit more frustrated. I don't think it'll affect his game too much, but poker is also a mental game, so it's really tough to not be affected by continuous losing.
I think that's a very fair way to sum it up, and I am curious, like you, to see if there are any major adjustments being made with the two of them.
Yeah.
Did the Bills lose? Yes, they did. More on that later.
The Danish sausage says, in before we get 10 questions about bikes again today. Send all your bike questions to my cycling Instagram channel. Fuck this hill. FCK. No, don't use the U. We'll keep the cycling away from this chat because, of course, we're here to watch Daniel take down 6 buy-ins. So
I do think we have an adjustment right off the bat from Doug Polk, and I do believe it comes in the form of a button limp, which we have not seen, at least in all the streams that I've done. I've not seen one player limp in on the button, not once. Have you?
No, and also I feel as though if Doug is really making that adjustment and doing that more so, he could just be protecting his lead a little bit, which I find a little funny because there's still, in the grand scheme of things, still quite a bit of hands left to be played. So it's not as if you can coast to the win at this point.
4-bet by Negreanu, all of it by Polk on table 1.
Wow.
The 5-bet shove for 41K. Negreanu lays it down. Doug Polk does tweet, big strategy change incoming today. Here we go. Daniel Negreanu does tweet, we have limps, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm curious to see if they'll both be active throughout the course of the day. Mike McDonald, we've seen him on this stream before, 6 hands in, and Doug has limped. Maybe a misclick or whatnot. Nope, doesn't seem like that. It seems like time in the lab and realized that maximizing big blind per 100 hands and maximizing win percentage of the challenge are different. Let's see if he has it in on the switch tables, if 300 bigs plus effective.
So, Jeff, remind me and the audience again, did Daniel and Doug also bet on themselves, or is this just basically them playing for these stakes and the people observing playing for the winner of the match?
I think they are both heavily invested in side action. I might have gotten that wrong on the Negreanu side of things, but I'm almost positive on the Doug Polk side of things that there's a lot of money at stake, especially considering a guy we know pretty well by the name of Bill Perkins.
Right. Yes, that's a good reminder.
So again, about 19,000 hands have been completed. They're playing 25,000 hands. Doug Polk is up about 600K going into today. Puts him up about 15, 16 buy-ins.
Yeah,
and Varun says, sorry, go ahead, Remko.
No, I was going to say, as we saw on Friday, 16 buy-ins isn't a whole lot.
Right.
You
can chop off 9 or 10.
Exactly. What's up, Amanda? Thank you so much for tuning in as well. I think you have some real investment here emotionally in this match, so I'm glad you're with us again.
Is DNegs in the mix?
I see DNegs in the. Oh, is this a fake account? What is this? Amanda
Probably. She's got the. I think she has one of the check marks or blue marks or. But that's okay. We'll take all Amandas.
Exactly.
The real and the imposters.
That's true.
Yeah, so we've seen a couple pots now that are just worth the bare minimum, about $800. Corey says button limps make me sad. Me too, Corey. I mean, we want to ramp up the action, Remko. We want the pots to get big. Still got plenty of work to do to come back.
It's really funny that if Doug is indeed limping more, and if he is indeed focused on keeping the pots a little smaller as he limps again, by the way, on the left table there, then I do think that works against Daniel, because if he takes high variance lines, if he wants to play big pots and, basically let luck be more of a deciding factor by playing a lot looser, then, that's not going to help his case a lot, because it is much harder to blow up the pot after it's limped before the flop.
BBB says, as of January, the net worth of Bill Perkins has been estimated to be around $60 million. I will take the over on that, BBB.
Yeah, I feel like anyone who's ever been near a Bitcoin probably has so much to discussed. Shout out to my own tears of not owning any Bitcoin.
Yeah, me and you. You'll get plenty of Bitcoin talk later, guys, when Carlin jumps on the show whenever Remko or I need a break. So don't worry, the Bitcoin talk will certainly be on the way.
I'm curious for all the chat pros, or as I like to call them, friends in the chat. Let me know how you think Daniel should approach the session today. Do you want to see him be more aggressive? Should he sort of tone it down a little bit to maybe throw Doug off a little bit? Because that is also a way of balancing. You can say the one thing, you're just like, oh, I'm going to play like a monkey. And then all of a sudden you're playing super coy and laid back. So I'm curious how you guys feel.
My name is Cam. What's y'all's predicted outcomes for today? I predicted Negreanu plus 122K. Remko said 6 buy-ins plus 240K, and that's what Negreanu wrote in his journal as well. Check raise from Polk, takes it down on table 2. 4 bet by Negreanu on table 1. Polk lays it down.
Heads up poker is so intense. Like, we just started, and I'm already like breaking a sweat over here.
And their pace of play too is fantastic. I mean, it has really been throughout the course of the entire challenge. It especially was on Friday. I mean, it was boom, 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 boom. And it's great. It's been a treat to watch, which is hard to say, which I didn't really expect coming in, just to be honest, with no hole cards, that it could create the kind of entertainment value that it has.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing you mentioned, because, of course, I work with Poker Go, and we were obviously involved in producing the first round of Doug versus Daniel. So they were playing in the Poker Go studio. This was probably one of my favorite events of the year as far as live poker. And of course, we did not have a lot to choose from, but still, it was highly entertaining. And I was pretty vocal about the fact that I found it embarrassing how nice they were to each other. I was really looking forward to perhaps some animosity, or maybe some, banter with, a bit of a twist to it, but none of that we saw. We saw a very friendly match between two players who were obviously, having fun with the stakes and with the way things played out. So, at that moment in time, I was just so much looking forward to the next time they were able to square off in the studio to play another live session, because I do think that this format, like you said, without hole cards, has proven that no matter what you do, people want to see this. People want to follow this action. People want to, get a taste of all the stuff that's going on between these two guys. And I really hope that at some point in the future, maybe even after this online challenge completes, we can see them again in the studio, because I think that many of us poker fans would love to see them square off again.
I think so too. And as Kid Poker Brat says, this leads us perfectly into Doug's post-game interview on Friday, which I watched. And Kid Poker Brad in the chat says, Doug said on Friday in his interview, 6K hands away from, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Says he's looking forward to a break in 6,000 hands. Says he's played enough poker, says he's done with it. It sounded like Doug is truly just cannot wait for the 25K hand mark to be hit, and then he will be done. Now, his post-game interview took place right after he lost $390,000. So I would not feel, thrilled to go fire up another poker session again after a day like that. But to his credit, he said he was feeling that even before that session. So we might see a bit of a break at the very least from Doug Polk when this is over. And that's really the first that I've heard from him as far as speaking to the future is concerned.
Yeah, I think it's no surprise to anyone that he says that, because I believe Doug said that he was retired from poker, and the only reason he was coming back was this challenge. Just imagine being this good at poker, coming out of retirement, studying, doing all this stuff to get back on top. Because I think there's a fair case to be made that Doug and Daniel both are now at a level where they are at least competitive at the high stakes online with all that they've learned through studying over the last few months. So then for Doug to just step away again, having all this new knowledge, all this new skill, I mean, that really has to imply that he's probably done with poker for good. If even after this, he's just so done with it.
It's a great point, because this would be the prime time to go challenge a Limitless, to go challenge an MJ or, Ike or whoever it may be. And Doug's thinking, I'm out. Daniel in the chat says, love, run it back. Justin says, yo, Jeff, you the man. I try to be balanced on the compliments, Remko. So we'll both happily accept those, and we appreciate those. Thank you guys for the kind words and for tuning in today.
Absolutely. And for the Run It Back fans, this Thursday night, the grand finale of arguably my favorite poker format, the Doubles Poker Championship.
Oh, you've loved this. You've loved it.
I'm so hooked on this. This is like, for people who are unfamiliar, this is an old show from 2010 that I dug out of the archives from Poker Go, and I've been watching it with the fans on the YouTube channel. And it's such a funny format because players play in teams, and one player makes the pre-flop decision, and then it goes flop, turn, river, back and forth. So if Jeff and I were to play a hand, he's going to raise with garbage, and he's going to hand me the cards, and then the flop comes down. I'm looking at it, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this crap King 6 offsuit? So I think the format is, by the way, let me stop talking. There's a
good pause. 4-bet by Negreanu on table 1. Polk makes the call, so about 22K in the pot. King 8, 6, 2 diamonds.
Yeah, King 6 I just talked about.
Yeah, right. That'd be fantastic here. Polk checks. 33K behind. Negreanu. That's about 1/4 pot. Polk lays it down. All right, keep going with the Doubles Poker Championship.
Yeah, so the decision-making goes back and forth between the teams, and they, accrue points through preliminary matches, and then all of a sudden you reach the final, and there was $1 million up top in this format back in 2010. Shout out to all the money that was in poker before Black Friday. And that format, I think, is just brilliant. I think that if we do this again, and I'd love to hear more from the people that love to watch poker that are also in this chat, if we ever do this again, what I want to do is do a format in which you do sort of a blind sign-up and then a random draw for who gets paired up with each other, and then we're going to do a pro-am. So a pro with an amateur or a celebrity, and then do something like that. Whether this is a charity event, whether this is real stakes, we don't know. But I want to bring this back, and I already have Brent Hanks on board, so maybe this will be like a special edition, special sort of thing. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of this format because I think that it leads to some very, very interesting conversation, table talk, banter, and all that stuff.
Well, let's do it then. Let's bring it back. Let's bring back Doubles Poker Championship, round 2, on the 11-year anniversary or whatever it may be.
Oh, man.
So Doug Limpton, yeah.
No, I want to say this. Lord Palace said, Jeff, love your show, The Big Blind.
There we go. Thank you. I think we're throwing out some Big Blind episodes on YouTube. Try to emulate Remko's success on PokerCo's YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching. So when Polk limped in on table 2, Negreanu raised, and his raise was 4x. His raise was to 1,600. So I'm curious to see if that is the adjustment that Negreanu will make on some hands.
Playing against a limping strategy as someone of my level is always so confusing because you're out of position, so you're always getting screwed.
It's really tough. It's all right. I saw one of Polk's hands shown down that he did limp in on the button, and that was ace-6 suited. So that shows that he's going to have a pretty wide range as far as those limps are concerned as he wins an 18K pot on table 1. Pot was actually a little bit smaller. Apple Juice. Hey, Jeff, condolences to Hank. So thankfully this means the end of the hashtag spruce now. Correct. Apple Juice. We both know it was not a lucky spruce. It was just some stupid Christmas tree that he kept up for weeks and weeks past Christmas. And I kept telling him to take it down, to take it down, to take it down. No, it's lucky. Oh, it's lucky. It wasn't that lucky, was it? So hopefully it's gone by Friday.
You know the team you're supporting is fake if you depend on an old Christmas tree
Right.
to keep the playoffs going.
And they were doing so well before, like it's not like the Christmas season and that spruce or tree brought them all the luck.
Oh man, I'm funny like that. If you guys can see on this side, that is Rudy. He is my
The bike?
He's no Rudy. He's a reindeer. He's a reindeer wearing my one of my sunglasses, and he's a Christmas reindeer type dress up thing. It's been on my speaker in my living room for over a year.
Over a year.
I've never taken it down. Also, by the way, shout out to Brent Hanks for gifting me that stereo set that I got for free from Brent. How nice is that?
Wow. Danielle says, as far as doubles poker is concerned, that'd be sick. I'm in. Jeremy says, Remko, please change the backdrop because these stolen bicycles are not a good look. That's pretty good.
Well, I mean, how else am I going to sell these stolen bicycles?
Right.
I have them.
It's kind of his advertising platform right here.
Yeah, I mean, you can have this one for like $5,000. Okay, that's final. Not moving from that price.
Paul says Jeff hates Christmas. Now, Paul, we've been over this before. I don't hate Christmas. It's a lovely holiday. I'm happy to celebrate it, but all the Christmas trees can come down now. Unrealized says, I would love to watch that as far as doubles poker is concerned, especially if Phil Hellmuth plays and ultimately loses to an amateur. The rant alone would be worth it. Yeah, Hellmuth has to be on board.
Yeah, and a lot of people in the chat have suggested over the last few weeks that Doug and Daniel in the same team would be really funny. I also think that someone like Mattisau and Helmy together would create some epic situations, but also think of the endless possibilities of pairing Bill Perkins with Fedor Holtz, for instance, and then Bill makes some wild raise and then Fedor gets stuck with the cards on the flop.
Fedor's like, what are you doing here, Bill?
What is happening? So yes, that format needs to come back. Our 5K in the middle there on the right table. Three blue cards on the table. That's always dangerous.
3 blues. Ryan Fee, I hope Hanks is crying and in a lot of pain after the Bills' terrible performances. Negreanu's 7s are good there. I wonder what was worse, the Bills or Hanks' commentary? Probably the Bills. And Ryan, I don't know if you're the actual Ryan Fee, but congratulations on getting absolutely torched on Twitter by Daniel Negreanu.
Isn't that the best part about this whole challenge is that Twitter is just really, really good. Like
Twitter's been on fire.
We have no real live poker to speak of. And for the people that do go to these live events, the question is why. I'm just so happy that this battle, this feud is bringing to life all the haters and all the lovers on Twitter. Right. It's just a beautiful thing to wake up to every day.
So has Doug limped every hand on the button pre?
Oh, I'm not smart enough to keep track of that, but
right, same. But let's watch the next 8-ish. We usually only tune in when we see a decent amount of money in the middle.
I mean, the chat's so alive. I love it. There's so much going on here to keep up with.
Okay, there's a raise from Doug. All right, that theory has gone out the window right off the bat. Good point by Booze, one of our mods. Jeff in the chat says, Jeff, do you expect to ever be invited to a Sunday football party again? Or are you officially bad luck now, not taking any of that bad luck stuff? It wasn't me. Was not me. The Chiefs were very good. The Bills kicked too many field goals.
Yeah, what's up with that? The kicking stuff.
It's unbelievable. It's like, hey, we're down 12 to the Chiefs. Could cut the lead to 9. Sound good to me. Yep. Michael Gilbert says poker is pretty. He says, let's see Phil Ivey and Mike Mattisau playing craps. I would sign up for that programming in a heartbeat.
Yes, that sounds amazing. I think there should be more content like that off the felt with these poker players, like golf or blackjack or whatever it is. Will be a lot of fun to watch.
Tim Duckworth from Poker Central in the chat. Why does Brent Hanks look weird today? Tim, that is actually not Brent Hanks. That is Remko Rinkema, who has just fired you for comparing him to Brent Hanks.
Yeah, I think Brent Hanks at this point weighs about 80 pounds more than I do, which is very impressive given that I once weighed 80 pounds more than he did.
Yeah, but you've chopped that weight down like crazy.
And
Have you guys in the chat seen some old Remko pics? I mean, they're beauties.
They are beauties.
And now look at this svelte figure right now.
Chiseled.
Just on the trails day in and day out.
And
did you cycle in the snow today?
No, I've been actually off the bike for a while with some injuries.
Oh, you're hurt, huh? You're on the injured list. That's right.
Yeah. I'm on IR. Hopefully back in a few weeks, but we'll get there.
In a few weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but yeah, hey.
The tendonitis stuff?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's really strange, but if you did absolutely zero sports for a good decade and then you go ham for 1 year, maybe not the best idea. Just putting it out there. Maybe not the best idea.
Camille says, Jeff, how do you deal with your schizophrenia? That's the first time I've heard a question like that. I don't know. How do you think I deal with it?
Come on, Jeff. That was the perfect opportunity to say, how do we deal with that?
Oh, yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good. Aki, hey, Mr. Platt, do you like my Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier pick now? LOL, I hit a parlay with those two for 5Gs. Congrats, Aki. Yeah, you had me smoked on that one. I came on this stream. I was on No Gamble, No Future, our new show, which you can catch every Tuesday on PokerGo's social media platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. And I said, love Dan Hooker, love Conor McGregor, and boom, Michael Chandler, and boom, Dustin Poirier. Just shut me up. But I also said that I'm not sharp and you should probably bet the opposite. So I kind of think, Remko, that I made the people money.
Yeah, I mean, I may or may not have won a nice amount betting on Poirier. So, hey, who knows?
May or may not have heard that about you.
Pretty good stuff there.
Pretty sharp play.
So, I mean, I am so sharp these days. Obviously not due to my own knowledge, but hey, if you know someone who is sharp, then you might as well listen to them.
Right. Cam says, Jeff, I don't know if anyone has ever told you this, but you would be great on ESPN. Thank you so much for saying that, Cam. It's very much appreciated. You know, funny enough, I actually will be on ESPN come March for the World Series of Poker main event episodes. Remko, I don't know if you got the message or the note, or if there's some big write-up planned at Poker Central about this, but I'm actually the sideline reporter for that tournament. So we'll be heavily featured on ESPN throughout those episodes.
Wow. You are the worldwide leader?
Yeah, for ESPN. Yeah, just the biggest sports channel in the world. Yes. I don't like to talk about it really, but since it was brought up in the chat and then you asked me about it. Yeah.
Wow. So wow. I'm trying to just let this all sink in. ESPN. That's a pretty big deal, Jeff.
Yeah.
Did you get your own makeup situation, or did you have to do it yourself?
Well, unfortunately, with new COVID restrictions, we have lost out on the makeup artist, which might have crushed me a little bit. But I dabble my own makeup on. I'm not ashamed to admit that at all. I mean, not for this, although I could certainly use some, but definitely for the ESPN appearance.
Yeah, I feel like you're not really trying anymore for these shows, Jeff. Not even
because shaving. I'm not putting makeup on.
Oh no, you're not shaving anymore. Like, what's up with that?
No, I'm shaving. You're a beard guy. You and I do some trimming every morning of the show, just a little off, clean up the neckline, all of that. I can't grow that Remko Rinkema beard. So this is what I think. This kind of is my zone. Can't go too much more than this. So try to tweak it a little bit.
I feel as though you just don't have the dedication to it. It's just no heart for the beard. You can just grow it out.
I tried during real lockdown, quarantine, COVID times, and it just didn't. I think it looked fantastic. Jeremy for doubles poker. How about these teams? Blazarian and Polk, like it. Brent Hanks and Patrick Mahomes might be a little tough to get, but we'll work on it. Helmuth and Matisow, yes. Platt and a Tinder date. Cool. And Postle and DNegs. The Postle one, I don't know.
Oh man, if Jeff plays with a Tinder date, there's still a chance that she is better than him at poker, which
yeah, he's amateur.
Is the word poker in your Tinder bio, Jeff?
It is not. No.
Wow. Does it say host of the Big Blind?
It did for about 2 weeks when we had just started the show, and I totally changed my bio into promotion of the show. So it's like, catch the Big Blind on Poker Go every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. A game show featuring blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And so I think the ladies love that.
Oh yeah,
They're just
we
huge
saw,
fans.
we saw a huge spike in female signups for Poker Go. It was huge.
Notice says, I'm only watching the series to see Jeff Platt. Greg says, hey guys, Greg from New Jersey. Great job. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. What's up, Jonathan Little? How are you, sir? Jonathan Little, Remko, quickly becoming just the star of Poker After Dark.
Absolutely.
Whether he's on the show or not.
Jonathan Little, also the host of A Morning Coffee, which if you're not already following him on social media, that's a great way to start your day. Just some knowledge, just dropping that knowledge on you.
Some caffeine. Beautiful combo.
Big fan of caffeine. Big fan of caffeine.
Yeah, you're a big coffee guy, yeah.
Jeff, you're an energy drink guy, but then explain this to me. Is it also a thing that you have in the morning to get your day going?
Yeah. Start the morning with an energy drink. No free ads, but Monster Energy Ultra Zero is fantastic.
That just makes my stomach turn.
It's good. This is a really light flavor. It's good.
Right. See, I'm not hating on any energy drinks, but I could never do it in the morning. I'm one of those losers that has 17 ways of making coffee in the morning, and then every morning I decide how I'm feeling. So I have one of those Bialetti stove tops. I have a AeroPress. I have a French press. I have Vietnamese drip. I have all sorts of stuff. The only thing I don't have is an actual.
I don't know what any of that means.
I mean, you drink Monster Energy in the morning. I mean, go figure. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm kind of curious in the chat. How do you drink your coffee? I mean, this sounds way out of left field. You guys are going to have to deal with me today.
And let me interrupt the coffee conversation briefly, Remko, because I forgot to mention the free roll. The free roll password. The free roll password is heads up. Just get to it. It's all one word. It's heads up. Giving away $10, $15 GG Masters satellite tickets. That free roll starts in a couple minutes. I believe registration is open past top of the hour. So the password is heads up. Get in the mix on that GGPoker.tv free roll. Let us know how you do. Sorry, Remko. I was just thinking. I'm like, wait, what time is it? Oh man, free roll.
Don't forget the free roll. Don't squeeze out the people.
GG says, Kara Scott begged ESPN to let her do the World Series of Poker reporting, but ESPN was set on having Jeff do it. Yeah, GG, trust me, Kara is and always will be the number one option. She's an iconic figure in this game. So they had to move down the list of people who could not do it before settling on me.
Yeah, and then for the people who are wondering, then they reach Jeff on that list, finally.
Yeah.
And then a lot more people have to die or get sick before it's my turn. So maybe 2027, I'll get a chance.
Nah, I think me, you, Hanks, we're all on that same level, but I was the one who got COVID tested the day before when they found out Maria couldn't do it. And so they're like, all right, let's just go with Platt. He's already been tested. It's good to go.
Oh, beautiful. I'm looking forward to seeing it, though. I'm very curious to see how that show is going to turn out, because obviously that was such a different, special / weird event that I'm just curious to see how it'll be perceived by the masses.
Yeah, same here. A lot of coffee drinkers in the chat. Wow, Remko, I don't think it'll get much better than this from you. The real Naxer says Remko looks a bit like Jason Kuhn.
Wow.
A lot of people say that. Just Remko's overall approach to the game is really modeled after Jason, or maybe Jason's approach is really modeled after Remko's.
Yeah, I mean, I coach Jason from time to time, mostly on beard and hair and
fitness.
Flannel choice is a big one. It's a pretty strong relationship that we have going. By the way, I bought a new flannel on the weekend, and I'm so stoked about it. That's where I'm at in my life right now. I saw a comment earlier about my apartment looking like the 40-year-old virgin's apartment. It is about on that level. I was very excited to buy a new flannel. So yeah, I am that guy now.
Latest numbers in of Negreanu down about $19,000. No real big pots that we've seen. Rev says, Jeff, you of all people should know what the Vietnamese drip is, and if you don't, I'd get tested for it ASAP. Well played, Rev. Danielle, Jeff, I'm 100% with you. Love an energy drink, not in for coffee at all either. Yeah, I just think it's one or the other.
I'm seeing a lot of French press. I see
a lot of French press love.
I see some Starbucks. Harrison says black like my soul. Mike says cold brew coffee year round. See, that is a point of contention. So in Las Vegas right now, we are going through whatever the reverse of climate change is, or maybe it is climate change because it's absolutely freezing outside and it's been snowing and it's been raining, sideways rain, all that stuff. And I'm big into cold brew, but I cannot fathom having a cold brew when it's cold outside. It's just not happening for me. It has to be back up to 80 degrees, and then I'll be back in the cold brew streets.
But would you prefer cold brew? Like if you're just chilling in your apartment for the whole day, it's 6 degrees, lean cold brew?
That's a good question. I have one of those cold brew contraptions that you can put in the fridge and make the coffee overnight on a slow drip, which is really, really good coffee. But then what I do is I pour myself a cold brew to get the day started and sit on my balcony to soak up some of that sunlight. Balance out the cold coffee with the warm environment. It kind of goes both ways. But in general, from October until March, it's hot coffee for me.
Gotcha. D22 says, Jeff, why does your voice make me feel like I should dedicate my next couple of weeks to find you and beat out of you? I really don't understand this effect. I mean, me either, Devin. I'm sorry to hear that, but please don't. Wow, please don't. That sounds terrible.
I mean, Camille has a great suggestion. He says, you two could act in Brokeback Mountain. The only problem is we are shitty actors.
Good one. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good joke, though, Camille. Good joke. Very cool.
Oh, our boyishly good looks are now on full display. I can tell. I'm going to do a little bit of this.
This is a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful combination. So y'all are watching High Stakes Feud. It's round 32. Daniel Negreanu is down about 640K for this entire challenge. A little bit less now than 6,000 hands remain. So Remko, this whole thing could be wrapped up in 2 weeks and in 2.5 weeks. And I think the biggest story from this first half hour of play is pots are pretty small.
Yeah. And I think that is something that Doug is very, very happy with. And I wonder if Daniel is going to try to find a way to blow the pots up, or whether he is just going to accept this and tread water for a while. Because as I said at the top of the show, I do not expect this to be a 1 or 2 buy-in type session. But of course, if Doug goes the limping route and if Doug doesn't want to play high variance, then for Daniel, he's going to need to take incrementally more risk to get the pots to be bigger and to up the variance. So clearly Doug's playing a very efficient style against the way Daniel wants to play. So, credit to him for coming out with an adjusted strategy there.
Quick banana break or bathroom break, whatever you want to call it, for DNegs, and they are back in the mix. Mario says Remko looks like Carson Wentz, but sounds like Brent Hanks.
Wow.
Thought of it that way.
Brent will hate that.
I don't think you and Brent sound the same.
No, I don't think so either. Not at all.
Bruce, my man, I'm watching Jeff on NBC Sports Network right now on the Australian Poker Open. Can never get enough Platt. That's what I'm talking about, Bruce. Love it.
Jeff Platt's everywhere. It's crazy.
Everywhere.
I saw someone accusing me of being a vegan. I do love sausages, the meat kind. I made a beautiful lamb stew the other day. Big into grilling steaks. I'm a man of many talents, and preparing meat is one of them.
Master chef.
I mean, Jeff Platt, I lived with you for a month, and you did not even have salt.
Did I not have salt? Yeah, I probably didn't have salt. What would I need salt for? But now you'd be proud of me, Remko. I scramble some eggs every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you eat the eggs with a side of a protein bar?
The protein bars are out. A little protein shake in the afternoon before High Stakes Feud, and then a freshly meal at night, and we're good to go.
Very good. I'm happy that you're approving upon your habits. I'm very happy to hear that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I made a Korean stew for Jeff once, and he said he loved it. So
I did. Yeah, your cooking was fantastic. It's just not something that I can replicate.
Took me a long time to learn, but it's like they say with poker, right? It's easy to learn, but takes a lifetime to master. Is that the saying?
Something like that. Minute to learn, lifetime to master, I believe.
That's true.
When was that? When did you move into my place for a little bit?
That was, wow.
That was a while ago, yeah?
Was that 2 years ago in February? That sounds right.
Yeah, February 2019.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, I think so. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy how fast time moves.
We're real party animals, guys. I mean, whew. Remko has settled down now, but when the two of us were in the same place, I mean, my God.
Wow. I mean, it was just me and Jeff's dog watching SportsCenter all day, every day.
That was pretty much what it was.
How's Buddy doing, by the way?
Buddy's good. Buddy's good, thanks. He's taking a little nap right now, but when he's up, I'll show Buddy to the people.
I miss him.
He's good. Daniel, Jeff, have you ever been in a physical altercation? I have not. No. Have you, Remko?
I got punched in the face once in my life.
How'd that happen?
Kind of a cool story.
Okay.
I stood up for a girl who was getting harassed by a guy, and the guy basically turned around and hit me just fist in the face, in the eye, black eye, all that stuff. This is in high school.
It was just like right away.
Yeah,
like you were coming to get in the mix, and he just turned around and bam.
Yeah, I walked up to the scene and I said something, and he turned around and just hit me right in the snap second decision. I was more so just surprised by the whole thing than actually hurt. It did hurt, but it was more so surprised. And then this is the funny moment. I mean, I'm 6'1". I'm not a small guy, but the guy that hit me in the face was probably 6'3". And then my only 7 foot tall friend basically heard about this, and then he I don't really condone violence, but he grabbed this guy by the throat and lifted him off his feet, and he punched him in the face. So that was kind of like a rebuttal that I had nothing to do with. I didn't even ask for it, but that's just how it played out.
Just your buddy has your back.
Yeah, my back. Yeah, it was great. That was really cool. That guy now is a tattoo artist, and he's like the big tattoo guy. So you can kind of picture him being.
Which guy? Your buddy?
My buddy. Yeah.
Okay. What happened to the other guy?
Probably some loser somewhere now.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you be harassing women in high school? I mean, that doesn't really.
Yeah, you're just the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
Eric, does Hanks really have a WSOP bracelet? Remko, have you been able to confirm?
Well, I mean, even better than confirm. I was there when he won it.
Wow. So yes, then it's true.
I was the Poker News reporter writing the live reporting of Brent Hanks's bracelet win in 2012. So quite a moment there. It was actually really fun. The whole crew.
Oh, you were doing the live updates for that final table?
I did, yeah. With Matus Pater, I believe.
Oh, Matus, good man.
Good times. It was Jason Mercer was there, and Alan Barry and Dan O'Brien, the whole crew. It was a good time.
To go back and read those updates. I think those would be funny to look back on.
Horrible spelling, terrible grammar. I tried though.
And I'm sure the poker play is, obviously the game keeps evolving. So we'd see some hands where just like, wait, what? What happened?
Exactly.
Ice Racer Remko, who is your favorite Run It Back guest?
Wow, that's a great question. So for those unfamiliar, I do a show called Run It Back on the Poker Go YouTube and Facebook channel. And in this show, we watch old classic poker episodes, shows, live streams, and we do commentary over them with people that were involved or just people who really love the show. So one of my favorite shows was when Scott Seaver and I watched season 4 of High Stakes Poker in the episode that Sammy Farha and Jamie Gold just go absolutely ham against each other. They have aces versus kings, and it's this whole dramatic situation. That was just straight up hilarious and one of the funniest shows that I've done. Lex Veldhuis and I watched all of his High Stakes Poker appearances in a row. It was a 3-hour stream. That was epic. If you like Lex's Twitch stream, you're going to love that stream as well. And then the other honorable mention that I'll give is to start that show, which was right when the pandemic was starting. I did back-to-back shows with Chris Moneymaker, Greg Raymer, and Joe Hashem, reliving their main event final tables from 03, 04, and 05. So we have the footage of those final tables, and I rewatched that with them. So if after this, or tomorrow, or whenever this show is not going on, are craving some more poker action, those shows are fantastic. Those guys give behind-the-scenes stories. Moneymaker tells a story about being stuck in a strip club and calling Huck Seat to bring cash to the strip club to bail him out of the strip club. So just to give you an idea of what these shows are like. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
That's fantastic. Check it out on Poker Go's YouTube channel for sure. Speaking of YouTube, Portis asks, as we all know, this is getting close to finishing. Yeah, it is. What I was wondering is GG going to replace the content for this feud afterwards? I've gotten very used to it, and I enjoy the show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is a terrific question. Remind you can always catch the Super Millions final table on ggpoker.tv. Nanonoko and Rotterdam will have the call tomorrow, like they always do. More than $1,000 up top in this one. Pulling up the final table right now, and it's an absolutely stacked final table at that. We have Ola Shemion, who, by the way, Remko is on his 4th bullet. Just 4 bullets in a 10K, no big deal. David Yan, Mike Watson, Lucas Reeves, Daniel Dvoris, the summer's millionaire maker bracelet winner, Elias Parsonen, and Connor Drynan. So that will be an entertaining final table, to say the least. And then also, folks, we want to get the likes up. We want to get the subs up. So click like, click subscribe. Big plans in the future for GG's YouTube subscribers. And I think just big plans for GG overall as far as content is concerned. When this challenge ends, it is not the end to GGPoker's content.
Exactly. And I feel as though this challenge might awake other challengers or challengees to come up with a fight of their own. And of course, it'll never be Doug versus Daniel. But I do think that we are probably due some more feuds to be fought out over the internet in some kind of capacity. And then maybe this can all happen on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe to the GGPoker YouTube channel. And by the way, I'm seeing 186 likes on this very video. If we don't hit 1,000, I'll be very disappointed. So let's aim for 1,000 on the show today. How about that?
Sounds good to me. That's a good goal to set, I would say.
Yeah, let's not pussyfoot around it. Let's not aim for 500 because we're gonna obviously hit that. You guys are loyal. You guys are great. So 1,000. That's what we want to see.
1,000. Let's go. Let's do it. Sounds good to me.
GG said, "Oh, poor Lex. That must have been painful for him to watch High Stakes Poker. He got crushed, right?" Well, let's not forget that he owned Doyle Brunson's soul in one of those episodes where he called him down with the 9 deuce. So yeah, plenty of fun and exciting hands, and of course the epic cringe pot against Andrew Roble, where Roble calls him on the river with a set of queens, and Lex just rolls his eyes. So plenty of epic moments in that show.
Varun says, just realized after all these rounds, GG charges a rake on Feud as well. Surprising. So this is actually on WSOP.com, since both of the players are in the United States. Both are actually in Las Vegas. And even though rake is being taken out of each pot, there is no rake that's being charged to these guys. They get all the rake back at the end of every session. Turn Limited says, Jeff, you're like a hillbilly mimosa, Coors Light and orange juice. I guess that's a good comparison. I don't know. A hillbilly mimosa. Okay, cool.
That is so weird. Matthew Meyer says, how much does the Poker News reporter make? Well, it varies sort of experience level. I've done it from 2011 until 2016, and I traveled all around the world for this. I started out making $150 a day. That was the starting rate, and I gradually, made myself more popular among the blogging crowd, and made a little bit
more experience, better at the job, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So started out 150 a day, and for 10 to 15 hour days, that's not a lot of money, but I loved it. I did it for the love of the game, and partly due to my experience doing live reporting, now I'm sitting here. So I guess
and don't you think at the beginning of your career, and I know not all careers are created equally, but I think at the beginning, as far as the money is concerned, sometimes you just kind of got to say fuck it and just say I'm here for the love of the game and for my career's future, and because I enjoy what I'm doing. The money will come, maybe. Then
100%. And if it doesn't, you go do something else. But at least you've experienced something. And
right.
If I can make any recommendation to anyone watching right now who wants to get into poker media, live reporting is the entryway into poker. Like if you want to bust your ass for a couple of weeks during the summer to the WSOP live reporting, that I think is the best way to get into poker. And the other way to get into poker is to win a lot of money playing. So
yeah, that is perhaps a slightly more entertaining way. All due respect to the live reporters because they are awesome. But when you just ship a tournament for all the money, that's a cool job too.
Yeah. But then did you pay all your backers and the creditors and everyone for money?
And the tax man.
Brutal. But yeah, the trend continues of small pots, Jeff.
This is painful. We're getting the updates. I think Patrick is our statistician in our production chat, and it says, minus 23K, minus 9K, minus 19K, minus 18K. Then finally, it just says not much to report. Yeah, we gotcha. Pretty slow one. Party Poker partner Rob Young in the mix says limp. Yep, a lot of limps. The strategy changed. Doug warned us about it on Twitter about a minute or two before we got going. He's going to limp some buttons. And we've seen it, and we've seen significantly smaller pots overall.
Limp sausages all around. So limp. So limp. It also feels as though last Friday was this moment in time, this like perfect combination of hands and the way both players played. And this feels like, up until now, just another session for now. There's nothing that stands out yet. We're what? How long are we in? Like an hour into the match, and it just feels like, you know, treading water on both sides.
It really does. When we entered into this, and you made a point of this in our little pregame chat, that this perhaps would be a major turning point, that the door was open for a comeback, that there was some real buzz, there was some real momentum behind Daniel Negreanu. And it's kind of, I won't say the momentum shifted, but I will say that the momentum is just kind of stalled out, it seems.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely slowed down a fair bit.
Sam asks, how hard would it be to keep track of the hands as they accrue and continuous refresh of daily winnings / losses? Well, we definitely do that, Sam. We have our guys update like every 5 to 10 minutes, especially if there are big changes. If there aren't big changes, it's not worth it to us to keep updating the graphics. So it changes from like 19,000 to 18,700 to 14,802. Ari says, is Doug Polk intentionally trying to keep pots small in order to ensure that he wins the challenge? I mean, listen, it certainly looks like it to us. It's hard to get inside the mind of Doug Polk, but certainly is taking more of a defensive postures today.
Yeah, and I think that's bullshit. I agree. I'm going to call bullshit on that right now. Like, if you think that you are the better player, then why would you slow down? Isn't the thought process to maximize your profits? Now, why would he slow down to just edge out a win in the challenge? And of course, he's up by a ton of money in the challenge overall, so he probably doesn't have to worry about anything like that. So what we want to see is just entertaining poker. Of course, he wants to play good poker. If limps are a part of that, fair game. To me, it just feels like he's taking a very casual and cautious approach, which is too bad.
Yeah, I go back and forth on this because from a purely financial perspective, I think I can appreciate it considering all the side action that I believe that he has. He's just trying to lock that up, and he's up 600K here, and maybe he doesn't think he can make, you know, a ton of money over this last 6,000 hands by playing his normal strategy. So he wants to just lock up a huge amount of money on the side. But secondly, you know, the challenge came about because these two were going at it, right? They were taking shots at each other left and right. I mean, it was mostly Polk just firing shots here and there at Negreanu, and Negreanu was finally like, you know what? Like, let's go. Let's fucking do this. Let's go. Me and you, heads up. And so I think a challenge that's like that, I think you want to showcase your entire game. I don't know. So I'm back and forth on it.
It's just, I mean, we just need to see some swings for the fences. Come on. Yeah. We need to see, by the way, this is a big pot, I think. 7,000.
Well, 7,000 is big, like here. And then Polk won a 14K pot earlier, which was one of the biggest pots that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and then I just have flashbacks to Friday when I was laying on my couch watching the stream, and every third pot was like 100K.
Right. A drastic change, to say the least.
Bully Pulpit 2000 says, a 400K hit might change your attitude too. Judging by Daniel's analysis post-match on Friday, judging by his overall attitude and the way he described his own game, I don't think Daniel's change in playing style was such that Doug needed to make big adjustments. Daniel was just like hitting big hands. Bluffs were working. The randomizer was probably in his favor as far as Doug deciding to give up certain hands. So from that perspective, it's just 10 buy-ins lost, move on, back to the grind today. But we are seeing a distinct difference in Doug's playing style compared to last Friday. So he has made some adjustments, whether that's based on the GTO wizard machine or whether it's based on just not wanting to give Daniel certain opportunities. That's what Jeff and I are probably not smart enough to figure out. But, you know, you guys know at the end of the show, we always have Daniel coming on to give us an interview. That is something we can ask Daniel about, because clearly, the wheels are turning in his head as well on what these adjustments mean for the overall flow of the game.
A lot of you mentioning the side bets, and then Phil Harden said he's the one who said back up the truck, and now he's playing scared. I mean, it might be. Eric, did I see that it snowed in Las Vegas? You did, and it's terrible.
Yeah, we did not move here for the snow.
Right.
I would be living in Utah if I was looking for snow.
Everybody's like, oh, cool, look at the snow. I'm like, yeah, that just means it's cold outside.
Isn't it funny? Like, we're whining about it being cold, and then 2 months from now, we'll be crying about it being 100 degrees outside.
That's why I try, and the keyword try, to just limit my complaints or not have any in the summer.
Yeah, that's true. However, the Vegas weather in general is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Love it here. Poker Media says Polk is playing scared, plain and simple. Let's just attach ourselves to that sentiment. Doug Polk is scared.
We say that. We did see a 5-bet shove from Polk earlier. Let's see what we see on table 1.
Ooh, action on both sides.
Negreanu 4 bets. Polk does make the call. Queen 8-6 2 spades. Polk checks. Negreanu fires about a quarter pot.
Always interesting to see these 4-bet pots, and then when you're 100 big ones deep, how quickly the money goes in after that.
Yeah. There's now $32,000 is in the middle. It's about what Doug Polk has behind. Another 6 pops up on the turn, 2 flush draws now. Negreanu betting 9,700. Polk laying it down. Negreanu taking down a nice pot, which should bring him back to even-ish for the day.
Yeah, this was the most significant pot, and also immediately the biggest stack we've seen today with 68K. We saw 2 320K stacks in front of Daniel on Friday, so we still got a ways to go. But I think my 6 buy-in prediction for today is still in play.
Yeah, there is still plenty of time. As Alex says, 6,100 hands left at about 150 hands an hour. They should have about 40 hours of play left. I think it's probably a little closer to 200 hands an hour, just based on our past numbers, but that's just about correct.
So there's a chance they'll finish it today, and we might be here all night.
Yeah, they'll play all 6,000 hands today. Yep. And we'll be here for the next 2 days.
Good thing I meal prepped. I have some
12K in the pot on table 1. Tim Tebow says, how do you guys not get it? DNegs is terrible at deep post-flop play. Limping creates a much higher SPR, equals more post-flop skill, and is unstudied by DNegs. It's an exploit. You're all dumb. All right, well, you heard it from Tim Tebow. You're all very dumb.
We did not need him to say that. I am fully aware.
Right, we know we're dumb.
Of my own stupidity. Part of that is drinking a shit ton of water before doing a live stream, and then wondering how many times do I have to go to the bathroom in the next hour.
Well, the good news is, Remko, whenever you need a break, we got Carlin on standby. He just jumps right in. It's a beautiful thing. It's a smooth operation that we've created at High Stakes Feud.
Yeah, but I want to protect the fans from Bitcoin talk, so I got to balance my risk a little bit.
Fair.
Got to be really careful.
There's an emoji from Carl.
Yeah.
King Carl, Jeff, I am Hanks' #1 fantasy. Okay from the Bills game. I don't know. Whereabouts unknown for Brent Hanks at this hour. The barbecue was good, though, Jay Stizzle. Brent Hanks made some good ribs, some chicken wings.
Appster says, Remko, did you see all the riots all over the Netherlands? Yes, I did. My parents told me all about it. It's a sad state of affairs, but, I guess the donkeys and the idiots have to do something, and sometimes they resort to violence. Netherlands, otherwise, pretty quiet country, but
yeah, you leave those riots to us.
Yeah,
Ronnie with 10s for a 9K pot.
Learn from the best.
Are there really riots in the Netherlands? Not to get too sidetracked here, but It's pretty
Yeah.
niche.
There's they instituted a curfew at 8 p.m. or something,
Okay.
and because of COVID,
For COVID. Okay.
and people are not having it. And with people, I mean a certain subsection of the population who wants to throw rocks through windows of small businesses.
Nice. Keeping it classy.
Keeping it classy.
Yeah, Keith, the wings were good at Hanks Manor. They were very, very good. I'm not really a wings guy, but these were fantastic. Steve, we get this question a lot, Remko. So Remko, is the podcast ever coming back?
It is.
Okay.
We have Brent and I have very special plans, and Jeff, we'll loop you in on those because we might need you for some of these plans. Once live poker resumes in its full capacity and not a day before that, we are bringing back the podcast.
Nice.
And it'll be bigger and better than ever before. We just don't want to be one of those podcasts talking about, just, I don't know, mediocre action and everyone on every podcast discussing the same thing. We want to do our own thing, have our own topics, have our own guests, and have something relevant to contribute. So up until that point, we will remain quiet, and you'll be able to listen to us talk sometimes on our own shows and stuff along those lines. But yeah, the podcast will be back. We've already have tons of plans lined up, and it's going to be good.
Nice. Looking forward to that. The Poker Central podcast. It is not dead, folks.
It is not dead.
It
won't be called that when it returns.
Oh, interesting. Good tease.
It's got a good new name already.
Tim Tebow chimes in again, says, you guys thinking Doug is stupid enough to start locking up a win with 6,000 hands left just points out your own ignorance. That's not exactly what we said. Is we don't think he can lock up the win with 6,000 hands left, but perhaps he can take certain paths to get to a win in a little bit more of an efficient manner.
And I think that, and Jeff, I'll speak for you as well. I think we were mostly commenting on the entertainment value of the show.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
And how we hope that they're going to be swinging for the fences because that's more fun to watch for us. And with us, I mean you guys.
Jeff says, is there another free roll? Yes, there is in about 30 minutes. I'll give you the password in about 20 minutes. Also on GGPoker every single day, the 30K GG Care free roll. You suffer a bad beat and you're automatically registered into the next day's 30K free roll. The more bad beats you take, the more chips you get in that free roll. And that free roll is all in every hand, so no need to even be logged on. If you haven't checked out GG, you can choose your deposit bonus, $100 in free tournament tickets or a 100% match up to $600. The second Remko and I can get out of this country, we will be firing on GG, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I remember when these streams first started and I was tuning in, I had to figure out all on my own again that I couldn't play, and I was really sad.
It is pretty devastating. I mean, with their software, and again, as a reminder to those of you just joining us, this heads up high stakes feud is being played on WSOP.com. We are on GGPoker's YouTube channel. You cannot play on GG from the United States of America. So we just keep complaining that we can't get on GG, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, and the streams you guys do on Saturday are really fun to watch as well. I love the layout and the way the software looks. It gives that real sort of play feel. I don't know what it is about what you guys' preferences are, but when I play online poker, I want it to feel casual and laid back. I don't want to feel like some dusty old, basic room. And I like the fact that it looks exciting and inviting.
You can squeeze the cards. You have the river squeeze for the sweats. And then Remko, we were talking about this in our side chat a couple days ago, but for me, and I think for you, when we watch a poker stream on Twitch, I don't want to see like a bunch of information listed below every player. It's just like all the HUDs and stuff. Give me that GG number right there, and like I'm good. Thank you.
100%. Yeah, I was on Twitch because Lex is not streaming. He's taking a break, so I'm checking Twitch to see who else is streaming poker. And this guy had 300 people watching, and he was playing Zoom Cash with an enormous HUD overlay, like just an enormous HUD overlay for every player. And I was like, that is the least appealing way to watch poker in the universe. Like, it's just so stupid.
It's cringe.
A DIY like today says, I thought Remko was in TO. I did live in the T dot in the 6 for about 4 years and had some great times there. And now I've moved on and I live in Vegas. So the 2 amazing cities. I was there for the big Raptors playoff run, for the Blue Jays playoff run, for the Jose Bautista bat flip. I was actually in Vegas when the Raptors clinched. I was at a bar with Mike Watson and various other Canadian poker characters, and it was the warmest manly embrace I have ever felt, hugging those men after the Raptors clinched that one.
Absolutely love it. Remko and I talked a lot about going to some basketball games, taking a little road trip. We had kind of sort of planned to go to a Jazz game in Salt Lake in March of 2020, right? I'm just thinking back on that now.
We had it all planned out. It was like March 6th.
Yeah.
And literally 2 weeks before that happened, the whole country shut down. And it was going to be, well, actually, you know what we talked about? We talked about going to Sacramento for Kings Raptors and then going to Salt Lake for Raptors Jazz, back-to-back games.
Okay, that's what it was. A little hoops road trip. Why didn't we include any Mavs games in there? It just worked out to go all Raptors as far as the schedule
for that trip, I think. And obviously, it's easier to catch the Mavs on the West Coast than it is the Raps.
Yeah, that's true. Raptors appearances obviously more rare. Hopefully, we can get back to that maybe next season. Brandon Schaefer, same Brandon Schaefer who played Poker After Dark. I don't know. Jeff and Remko, do you think doing as much commentary as you all do on these great players makes you guys better poker players? Remko, you go ahead.
I think it forces us to think about the game, but the problem is we are making assumptions and analysis based on what we see, and obviously we're not really taking in the material as a means of studying. However, I do think that it helps to see certain things, recognize certain things, and for me personally, when I watch a lot of tournament poker, which is the only poker that I play, I don't play cash, I suck at it. When I watch a lot of tournament play, correct. When I watch a lot of tournament play, like final tables of Poker Masters, US Poker Open, what I mostly learn is what not to do. Because I see and I hear the commentators talk about what's happening, and it makes me realize like, oh, okay, so this is not a thing that I happen to do sometimes, and this is not a thing, but this is a thing. So I do think it helps.
I think it's significantly helped me, partly because, like Remko, I only play tournaments and not cash. So when we have the opportunity to watch final tables with hole cards exposed, not only are we exposed to what these high-level players are doing, but we're also exposed to the commentary, like Remko said, that we get from the analysts. So, if we're sitting by a Maria Ho or Jamie Kerstetter or Nick Schulman or, yes, even Brent Hanks, we're going to learn a lot because they're going to be able to talk us through certain decisions that these super successful poker players are making. So it's been great for me. Now I'm still terrible, but I've moved from really, really, really bad to just bad.
The funniest observation for me is always when I talk to Brent, and say about Brent all you want, but the guy knows a little bit about poker. Agreed. But then also to understand the jump from Brent Hanks to Steven Chitwick is quite a leap at this point. So for me to talk to Brent about poker, and then he loses me along the way because he's way better at poker than I am. And then I think, okay, so there's this guy called Steven Chitwick and about 100 other crushers that are so far above Brent level that it gives me this beautiful way to accept the fact that I'll never amount to anything in the game of poker.
Fair.
Self-awareness is a big thing in poker.
Yeah.
I've also always said that the best thing that ever happened to me was not binking a huge tournament when I still thought I could be a poker player.
Oh, that's a great point.
Because I would have won 300K and then lost that plus some if I would have done that.
You would have just thought you're awesome. And we've seen it with plenty of poker players. They win a big tournament and they're like, I'm on top of the world. This is great. I'm just going to win a tournament every 3 months and we'll be good to go. And it's not exactly how it works.
The Hendon Mob decline of someone's buy-in level is always such a sad thing to see. And I feel bad for these players sometimes, but you see them having a big score for a couple $100,000, and then it's 10K, 5K, 2K, 1K, $500, and then all of a sudden they're playing the 100 rebuy at their local casino, and you're like, they're probably not doing that to just have some fun.
You probably need this one.
Yeah.
Eric Blair says, I've been on an absolute heater heads up since I've been watching this challenge. That's really interesting to me, Eric. And for you and those of you who do play heads up on the side, let us know in the chat what you've learned, what you've picked up on, what you think specifically has helped your game. Joey says, I honestly watched every single episode of the Feud live, and if Doug is just shutting the game down like that, I'm out. Talking for a month and getting punched one time and then bailing out, LOL. It's hard to disagree. Like Remko said, for the entertainment value, I mean, we've seen a drop off certainly between Friday and today.
Yeah, the difference is night and day, really.
Yeah, it's frustrating, really. I mean, Remko and I were fired up, like we were ready to go just minutes before this broadcast, and then we kind of got hit with this, and it's like,
Yeah, I was in a Monster Energy kind of mood. I was like all fired up.
Sure. Yeah, now I need this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of evident of the action that we are only at 375 likes. The people also want.
The people are revolting.
Revolting.
But still, quick like, please. Okay, thanks.
Exactly.
Trapper, hands played hasn't been updated since beginning of Friday session. No, it was updated. That number, that 18,878, is updated going into today's session. And they've probably finished, they're probably at about 20,000 hands. I'm sorry, at about like 19,100 hands, did the math. A little bit wrong there. Thank you, Ari, for the kind words. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, Jeff. David has a good question. He says,
yes, David.
Hey, Remko and Jeff, what's the most you've won in a tournament? Jeff, I want to hear the story.
Let's see, the most I've won. Hey, I don't like talking about this, but Remko, I did make day 6 of the 2015 World Series of Poker main event.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for the thumbs up, Negreanu. But the double thumbs up, much appreciated. Yeah. And now is a year after I made day 5 in the 2014 main event. just because you asked about it. So that would be the most for me. It's about 110K. Now, for some reason, I had to pay taxes on it. Can you believe that? And then for some reason, I had to pay people who had a piece of me. I don't know if that was the wisest investment, but it paid off for them. So I got to keep a couple bucks by the time it was all said and done. What about you?
I had 2 very similar scores. One was live, one was online. I chopped a scoop 8-game event back in 2015 for about 20K. Made a heads-up deal after busting Jason Mercer. I don't want to brag.
That's so sick.
And busting Dmitry Urbanovic. Don't want to brag. I was chip leader heads up, made a deal, got a lot of money, and then I got blasted heads up and lost. So no scoop title for me. The other one was a 1,000 euro event in the Estrellas Poker Tour in Madrid. It was a 1K buy-in. I had nowhere near the money to enter that tournament, so I sold most of my action. I ended up being the this is also a bad beat story, by the way. I was chip leader 5-handed with 100,000 euro top prize, and I lost kings to ace 10 against the chip leader, and I busted in 5th place after 2 orbits later. I think I won about 25K minus taxes, minus investors, and I could barely afford to fly home. So it was a great trip.
And can you picture that moment in your mind? When did the ace hit? Or is that how the ace 10 beat the kings?
Window card, just window
card.
Oh,
just right in the window.
Yeah.
Just an ace to crush your hopes and your dreams.
Yeah, it's basically GG if shout out to GGPoker. Yeah. It's basically GG if I win that hand, and now it was GG for me, which was really sad. And I've never recovered, as you can tell.
Remko and I crushed the Red Rock Nightly, though, one night. We both final tabled again. Don't mean to brag, but
wow.
Yeah, pretty sick accomplishment.
And Jeff is so cocky. Like, I was there hand 1 in my seat, super ready. This is a big deal. This is a big tournament. You don't want to miss any hands. Jeff shows up with like 7 minutes left in late reg, buys it
style
for 8 big blinds, and just runs the table. No problem.
Yeah, it's just,
no problem.
That's what I do. I want to clarify from Yui. Says, guys, serious question. How are you blaming Doug when he's 13K up on the session? If he wants slowly bleeding, it would be different, but he's ahead. I don't think we're blaming Doug. I just think we're upset with his approach from like an entertainment standpoint. Doug can do what Doug wants to do. I mean, it's his challenge. It's his money. It's his side bets. We're just like personally disappointed by it all.
Jeff, can you say something now in like a quote size that people can take horrifically out of context?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Like just 4 words. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then somebody will put it in the upswing chat and be like, "Oh, those stupid GG commentators."
Yeah, say something.
Oh,
like
ace 10 for Negreanu for the 11K pot. Z rivers are straight.
Like, yeah, say something very. I'm trying to think of something funny and catchy, but I haven't figured it out yet. Like Doug Polk has quit the challenge. He's just waiting for it to end.
Doug Polk is terrible at poker now. That's not something that I would say, but you can use that little clip if you want.
That's perfect.
What's up, Berber? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. You know what? Since the action's a little slower, let's ask everybody where they're watching us from. So chime in the chat with your location right now. Let's do it. We know we have a worldwide audience. Appreciate every single one of you.
GPS coordinates. Here we go.
GPS coordinates would be a little intense, but do it. Go for it.
Pippo Brand says, can we say that Doug Polk is playing cowardly? That is exactly what I was looking for. So, go to camera and go, Doug Polk is a coward. Like that is the sort of quote that you can take beautifully out of context. And of course, this is all for our entertainment. We are here to be entertained.
Yes. Here we go, Remko. Go for it. If you want to start reading
Yes.
off the list, it is all yours.
All right. Newfoundland, England, Iowa, Kent, UK, Indy, Denmark, Thousand Islands, New Jersey, Montreal, New Hampshire, Calgary, Chicago, Dallas, Iowa, DC,
Dallas.
Sweden, London, India, Ottawa, Montreal, Panama, Wilkes, Serbia, Durango, Iraq, Miami, Toronto, Oslo, Scottsdale, India, Charleston. Oh, damn it. I lost it.
Go.
Charleston, St. Louis, Germany, Reno, Sweden, Hungary, Nashville, Florida, Cleveland, North Holland, St. Lucia, Croatia, Calgary, Kent. My house, great one.
Oh, all of it from Negreanu. The call by Polk, ace king versus threes. 3 on the flop. And Daniel Negreanu's set of threes has given him the biggest pot of the day. Top 2 pair, no good, sir. That's a 104K pot in the direction of Daniel Negreanu.
The chat energy probably made that happen.
I think so too. I think we timed it right. I think everybody deserves a little bit of credit for that one.
The
Threes
Danish
versus ace king. I saw the ace first and a 3 behind it.
ace in the window.
Taking a look at the replay.
Or was it a 3 in the window?
I think it was an ace and a 3. I don't know if the replay shows the same run out as the live action does. Yeah, it was ace.
Yeah.
It's ace in the window, 3 right behind it.
What a beauty.
All right.
I think that our complaining and whining is finally paying off. It's finally paying off. The Danish sausage says Remko's basement today. Well, I live in a tiny apartment, so my basement would be the neighbors down below. So if you are in someone's house that you're not supposed to, you should leave right now. Just saying. Just saying.
It's probably best if you leave.
Boss says the sunniest part of the Netherlands, Bonaire, one of the ABC islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Beautiful area there. Would love to go back. Trotty says today has woken up. I agree. We are awake.
Yeah, we're awake. We're ready. Big pot on table 1, 17K in the middle. 4-3 deuce queen, 2 spades, 2 hearts. Action on Negreanu as it goes check on the turn. Negreanu will lead for 5K. Polk lays it down. Another nice pickup for DNegs.
We're chipping up nicely.
Yui says maybe this action. Yeah, maybe we'll start to see some more big pots.
We're overdue. We're overdue some more big pots.
Yeah.
What was the biggest pot again on Friday? It's like 400 something? Or was it?
No, I mean the biggest pot, because Polk was never super deep.
Oh, right.
It's like he was just getting stacked time and time again. So I want to say the biggest pot was like 140-ish.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? It's because of the way WSOP shows the all-ins.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
They'll just show every chip in the middle. If Negreanu has 500K and Polk has 50K, at one point you'll see 550K in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's what got me. That's what got me.
Good question, David. If you had to give odds on DNegs, what price is he to win right now? All we have to do is check out what our friends at PokerShares had to say. And they said that Doug was minus 2,500 going into today's session, was minus 5,000 going into Friday. Negreanu plus 1150, so about 11 or 12 to 1 dog.
Oh, we've seen longer odds come in.
Daniel, who here actually thinks shoving threes preflop is a good play? Just to be clear, well, I think, now I'm not in that solver universe, but I'm sure it says X% of the time that should be a shove pre. Or who cares? Let's just gamble. Down 600K. Let's go.
Exactly. We need more gambling.
Tim Tebow, it's obviously a great play. Daniel Negreanu did it. See, Tim Tebow, we knew you'd come around. That is exactly right. It's obviously a great play because you're doing it. Yeah, good point. Daniel said he couldn't win unless he pushes the variance. He wants to get into some big flips.
Who doesn't love a big flip every now and then?
That's right. Adam, great question. Did that big parlay bet land? So Remko, we've talked about this the last couple of weeks. One of our friends, viewers of the stream, his name is Jason Harvey, and he had a $25 parlay. It was a 2-leg parlay. The first leg, Miami Heat to win the East. This was back in the bubble season, so he won that. He got that through. The second leg of the parlay was a Super Bowl matchup. Bucks versus Chiefs, which, as we all know now, he now did absolutely nail. And so that, ladies and gentlemen, was $25 to win $47,750 for Jason Harvey. They offered him a couple of cash out options over the last couple of weeks. He said no. He said no. They didn't offer him one going into the conference championship games. He said, okay, let's go. I'll do a small hedge on the side featuring the Packers and the Bills. And he got there, Remko. How sick is that?
Holy shit. That is insane. That like, it takes a moment for me to sink in how insane that is. And I didn't even know it was possible to bet a parlay like that. That's just insane.
All of it from Negreanu on table 2. Before we get back to the parlay talk, it's almost a 3x over bet, effectively. Polk lays it down. Yeah, how sick is that one? That's absurd. $25 to win 47K. Oh my God.
As we speak, locking in Ike Haxton for running back next week. Watching super high rollerball final table that he managed to win in 2018.
When he faced Fox and heads up, yeah.
So
they played some wild hands at that final table. That'll be a really fun one to look back on.
It's going to be awesome. It's always good when Isaac Haxton sends you a text. You're like, oh, wow, this is going to be good.
Is this Isaac Haxton?
Is this the genius himself?
Yeah.
And,
he's like, oh, sorry, wrong number. You're like, damn it.
Oh, man.
Steven, next free roll, I will give you that password in 1 minute. You know what, Steven, since you asked so nicely, I'm just going to give you the password now. The password to the next free roll is DUEL, D-U-E-L. That is DUEL. In this free roll, give away 8 $25 GG Masters daily tickets. The password is DUEL. Now I think registration opens in 1 minute, but you have the heads up on the password, which the password is not heads up. It is DUEL, D-U-E-L. Get in the mix. Let us know how you do. Go win a GG Masters daily ticket and then just go win the GG Masters.
Exactly. All right. And on that note, I'm going to just run to the restroom real quick.
Take your time, Carlin, if you're there, you can jump in.
I live in such a massive apartment that I'll be...
Right, it's going to take a while to walk to get over there. Not if you guys don't update how much Daniel is up in the next minute. I'll have to go watch somewhere else. Our latest update is on the way. Don't you worry. It is on the way. So Danielle, we've been talking about getting Jason on No Gamble, No Future. Brent Hanks and I on that program every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time. I don't think we'll do it this week, but we will try to get him in the future. Try to get our guy Jason. Yeah, our latest update has Negreanu up $56,000. Thank you, Patrick, for notifying me in this chat. He had put that in our production chat a little bit ago. So Negreanu up $56,000 today. Rich says, Jeff just does it for the attention. I don't know what you're referring to, Rich, but I agree. No matter what you're referring to, I agree. And now Negreanu up $68,000. Yeah, everybody giving it to Carlin. You guys think Carlin is asleep? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Carlin is asleep. JR, never imagined I would be spending my 30th birthday watching Heads Up Poker. LOL, my hometown is in lockdown. No bars, no restaurants open. Thanks for the entertainment, fellas. Thank you, JR. A happy birthday to you. I'm sorry you're stuck at home, but I'm happy that you can be here with us. So happy birthday, happy birthday. I hope you enjoy it as best you can. Oh boy, a lot of ones. Oh, there's a 2.
What's all the ones for? Hold on.
Aha!
What's all the ones for? What's going on? What
there
are
he
you
is,
guys
ladies
doing?
and gentlemen. Carlin is here.
What's up, Jeff?
But Carlin, we may or may not have been talking about you.
What's going on?
And
in the chat?
I said, put a 1 in the chat if you think Carlin is asleep.
So not a single 2, huh? Okay, guys.
You got a couple. In fairness to the chat,
All right.
you did get a couple of 2s. Can
All
you
right.
confirm or deny you were asleep about 6
was
minutes ago?
not
Wait,
asleep.
before you do,
Ooh.
Doug Polk fires 10K. Negreanu calls, and Polk could turn the wheel for a 35K pot.
What's going on today? I mean, if it goes like this, I might fall asleep. We just saw.
Well, that's certainly true.
Yeah. Like if they play for like another 3 hours, I'm definitely falling asleep around 4 a.m. You know me, guys.
Am I in time to protect everyone from Bitcoin talk, or am I too late?
Yeah, right on time.
Yeah, Carlin was rattled by all the
Right on
sleeping talk. So, we've avoided Bitcoin so far. Paul says, Carlin, wipe that sleep from your eyes.
Remko, did you hear the sleep-in story? Carlin
No,
showed-
I did not.
No?
But Carlin, be sure to update the numbers before we hear about it from the good people
we have
in chat as
Ooh.
well, please.
What an update.
So Remko, you missed about a 35K pot that went in the direction of Doug Polk. Other than that, Negreanu was up like 68K before that, so probably up 50K or so.
Nice. I do love when the pots get bigger and when the stacks get deeper. That sort of invites more wild plays, perhaps.
Remko,
Okay, in the pot on table 2. Yeah, Carlin, go for it. Go for that story.
long story short, I fell asleep while Daniel was doing the interview with Brad Hanks, and Egyptian was on the stream. And basically they did the whole outro, said goodbye to the audience, and they were waiting for me to switch to the ending scene. And I did not switch because I was dead gone. I was just sleeping. So
Wait, you were sleeping in your chair?
yeah, that happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was gone.
And then you went to Darling Club after? Is that what you said?
Yeah, right away. Yeah.
When you guys talked about that last week, about Prague, I mean, I have so many memories of Prague. My first ever EPT I went to was EPT Prague 2009, and I've been to EPT Prague probably the next 6 years after that. So I have amazing memories of the restaurants, of the nightlife.
Yeah,
so
Prague
many
is
weird
awesome.
places that I've ended up. There's this was a steakhouse, the Argentinian La Casa Argentina.
No.
Every morning, some people wonder, oh wow, how did you ever get fat? Well, going to Prague helps because they have those treadle-neck things they sell on the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I would eat like 5 a day of those. Just terrible.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to EPT Prague, Carlin?
No, I've never been there. I was supposed to play some side events maybe like 2 years ago, but I did not manage to make it there. I was too busy streaming at that time. So yeah, I was just kind of in my cocoon at the studio, streaming, playing online.
Man, you missed out on some good times.
Yeah.
I have some stories that might not even are allowed to be said on the GG stream. So then
That's saying a lot.
then you know. Then you know.
We heard from Brent Hanks's YouTube account. It says automated message. Hanks has removed the lucky spruce, aka the Christmas tree that was up for way too long, and firmly believes Remko's bike is very unlucky.
Wow. Well, good thing is that's my girlfriend's bike. And this bike is also my girlfriend's bike. My bike's
Sick
not
brag on the girlfriend.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Makes you wonder how I did that.
True. This much is true.
One quick side story about Darling in Prague, and I'll leave out most of the details.
Okay.
A friend of ours, there was a big group of Dutch players in Prague for the Unibet Open back in 2010 or something. And it was this one guy's birthday. And basically at Darling, they told the girls that it was this guy's birthday. So came over to give him a dance. This woman managed to take off our friend's belt. She bent him over her knee and gave him a whooping that you've never seen before. I have never seen a grown man squeal and scream as much as this guy. And the next day he was playing the tournament and he lifted his shirt and he was covered in red marks. It was absolutely insane.
Happy birthday, I guess.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good night. Oh, man.
Wow, at the beginning of that story, I was like, all right, here we go. And then the rest.
Jeff seemed very interested in that story.
Yeah, just so,
Jeff seemed
just
like...
looking forward to report on Darling. Darling, that's what it is?
Yeah. Prague, Czech Republic. Book the ticket tomorrow. Flights are open.
Yeah.
Darling is open.
Brent Hanks automated message. Could I have that belt back?
The one thing I'll say about Darling in Prague is that it has a menu on the table and there's no food at this place.
No food at all.
But there is a menu on the table.
There is a menu. I can confirm that.
I'm sure you can, Carlin. I'm sure you can.
There is a menu.
I feel like Carlin and I are bonding over shared experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a beauty. What a beauty.
Let's make a deal, guys. I'll stay until we see a 50K putt.
Wow, I guess you're here for the next 4 hours.
Camp out. Yeah. It's fine with us. Stay as long as you want.
I went with 50K. I was about to say 100K, but then I was like, maybe not today. Let's go with 50K.
Keith says, Remko, did you say your girlfriend was a bike? No, I think you slightly misunderstood that, Keith.
It's funny. My bike is probably a male bike. I don't know. It's black and white. It has a bit of a
real
male.
manly.
My girlfriend's bike is purple and teal, so it's
Nice.
more of a female color, I'd say. I can open another cold one.
Booze says 50 push-ups for 50K putt. Not sure.
Did you do 50 push-ups?
Yeah, I did once on the stream.
Yeah, he
for
did. I
1,000
saw it.
likes.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you guys can like this video all you want. I cannot physically do 50 push-ups.
Ari, Jeff, how was your wine date with Lynn? It was not a wine date. There's a group of people, Lynn being one of them, and there was also wine there. Did she keep to the bet? She will. That is actually tonight, that gathering, where Lynn will pay for some vino of mine, thanks to Daniel Negreanu winning the session that she was on commentary for.
Paul Hardy coming in with the real zingers. Wow, I'm getting blasted.
What's he got to say?
That
Gotta respect the good trolling, man.
he says that I don't need to take a breath after speaking for 2 minutes continuously because I get so much practice blowing up my plastic girlfriend. I mean,
wow. Oh my, Paul.
if any of you guys know anything about athletics and VO2 max being a thing, maybe blowing up dolls is probably good for your lung capacity. So maybe you've just this great idea how to improve my performance.
Cactua says the real winner of this challenge will be the 50K in rake WSOP. Will get Wink. Well, they aren't taking any rake. Wink back. So.
But Jeff Platt, I heard, gets all the rakes. So
yes, actually,
I
I
heard
am the
that
one
as
who
well.
receives the rake.
Yep.
I can neither confirm nor deny
in
those
the game
rewards,
of,
fellas.
In the game of Doug and Daniel, Jeff Platt is the rake.
Yeah. Thought you were just gonna go with women or the rake, and then I'm like, yeah, I can certainly see that. Yeah. Reese, are we allowed to post any emojis? I think you can post some, but then Nightbot just automatically times you out for some. But I saw yours, Reese. I saw yours.
We see a 4-bet on table number 2.
Oh, okay. Makes it 12K. Negreanu calls. 6-4-4-2 diamonds.
I hope it's 49K pot at the end of the card.
Polk with 56K behind. That's small.
We all know the 4 is one of Daniel's favorite cards. Just
He
saying.
does check call. 8 of spades on the turn.
See, last Friday, this would have been just an average pot you guys would have talked
Right.
over. And now
Right.
we're captivated.
11K. It's a bet from Polk, betting 1/3 here.
I mean, if he calls, it's see ya, Carlin.
Yeah, so what do we root for? We want him to win the pot. We want Carlin to stay. As
Yeah,
he
I'm
does
going,
check
guys.
call.
I'm going.
Wait
Let's
till the
win,
end
though.
of this hand. 10 of spades on the river. We might as well win it now. Negreanu checks. Does Polk go bet, bet, bet? Oh, Negreanu trying to set the trap with the ace-high flush.
The runner flush.
Polk checks back. Nice pot still for Daniel Negreanu.
Yep.
All right, Carlin. Well, we'll see you soon because I'll take
Yeah,
a break in
I'll roll.
30 minutes, so.
I'll roll the replay before I
Yeah,
go.
roll that replay.
By the way,
4-bet from Doug Polk.
Guys,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you realized, but on the turn there was exactly 1 Bitcoin in the pot. Exactly 1 Bitcoin.
Thank you, Carlin. Carlin, I don't know if you realized, but I'll be on ESPN in March.
Really?
Don't know. Carlin and I go back and forth. He does the Bitcoin bit. I do the ESPN bit. We both really love it.
Oh, man. I just want to be famous enough to have my own bit.
You got a podcast. You got a YouTube show.
The bikes are the bit.
Good.
Yeah, the
The
bike. I was
bikes.
just
Yeah,
about to
you
say
cycle.
that. Yeah. All right, guys. See you. in
Okay,
30
Carlin.
minutes.
Good to see you. See you soon.
See you soon, man. Don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I will do my
Rob
best.
Anderson. Rob says, if we get to 1,000 likes, will you do some good commentary? Probably not, Rob, but that was well played.
Wow, jokes all around in the chat. You guys are so original.
Oh, yeah. The creative trolls are friends of ours.
It's very, very, very impressive. By the way, closing in on 500 likes. That means that we are halfway
We're on pace.
to our goal. Jeff, how long is the session supposed to go today?
That's a good question. It's really hard to tell. I kind of thought going into today that they'd be due for a pretty long one, but the way things were going, I'm not so sure. But they are in Negreanu's direction, which does lend us towards a longer session. I just have no idea, man.
Right, and
Could have just said that off the top.
the same old still goes, right? That Doug never quits.
Right. Doug will just keep going and going and going. Latest numbers have Daniel Negreanu up $73,000, down about 550K for the session.
Ooh. We're closing in on that $500,000 mark.
Yeah, you get under there. It's like, okay.
It's basically anyone's game after that.
Is the door open? Because we've seen what can happen in one session, thanks to last Friday.
As long as Daniel doesn't punt or kick a field goal, he'll be fine.
Yeah. No field goals.
Touchdowns only. We need lots of touchdowns.
Joe says, Jeff, how many of your Tinder dates watch each session to see if you have another one lined up? That's a good question, Joe. I should have thought of that. No, I don't reveal really any specifics on the dates. So I'd be surprised if they were tuning into this, but if they are, hello, hi, how are you?
I just pictured Jeff coming home late at night after a date, and the girl is like, "Well, Jeff, I'd love to meet up with you again." And then Jeff goes, well, sorry, I'm not that interested, but could you please subscribe to the GGPoker?
yeah. It's a setup. Like, what? That's kind of random. No, you just pull up the channel on your phone real quick. Yeah, there we go.
Can I just have your phone for a
Make
sec?
sure you're logged in. Okay, great. Click like, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Platt. All right, why would I want to do? Well, yeah.
And don't forget to hit the notification bell while you're at it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So the stacks are a little deeper, mostly towards Daniel's side as far as where the money's been going. So pretty good news for us.
Adam says, Jeff and Remko, how did you guys get to know each other well enough to live together? That's a good question. Let it be known that it was pitched as a temporary stay, which it was. It wasn't like, hey, we should be roommates for the rest of our lives.
It was like that Freshmen's of Bel Air scene. I just took a cab and I showed up at Jeff's house. And
it's like, oh, I know you. We got to know each other, I would say, 2018 World Series of Poker. And I moved out to Las Vegas, was doing some work for Poker News, a little bit of work for Poker Central.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember our first, like, I can't even remember, to be honest. That's crazy. I mean, I was a huge fan of you, going deep in the main event back-to-back years.
Right, of course.
I had the signed book of Jeff's main event run. I'd rewatched your interview with Kara Scott over and over again.
Yep.
Hotels and it's
no, if there was a starstruck person in this, it was me, because I told Remko, I remember telling you at the very beginning, I was like, your podcast is awesome. I wasn't quite referring to the Poker Central podcast with Brent. That was fine. That is all well and good. But I was like, your interviews are fantastic. It's just very, very well done.
RIP Heads Up with Remko.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Maybe I should bring that back as well.
Do it.
Just once a month, like a deep dive, little 2-hour talk with.
You can make a video version, just throw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Put it in podcast form also. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we should do it. Good idea. I love doing podcasts. I love talk. I mean, the fact that people actually listen to what I have to say is mind blowing as it is. That's why.
Agreed.
That's why I prefer having someone smarter than me on, that I can just let them talk. I'll just ask questions. Pot bets on the river.
Boost Bridgie, Jeff, would you play a short 2-hour session in DNegs spot to restudy the pre-flop ranges and adjustments? No, I will not. Thank you for asking.
We should do high stakes feud, Jeff versus Remko, and then everyone in the chat is going to be better than us, so we're going to look like complete buffoons, but it should be funny to watch.
Where that works.
Wow. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but the wind is so strong that my window is literally making some noise right now.
Wow. Howling wind in Las Vegas.
Howling.
All right, another break for DNegs. Latest number is having him up about $70,000. So Remko's slow start to the round seems like it's picking up a little bit of steam.
Absolutely. And I think that as the session goes on, and especially with Daniel being in the lead, I feel as though we could see some more loose play on Daniel's end, and how Doug's going to react to that. That's obviously the big question. Are we going to see Doug maybe making a few more raises? I find it hard to discuss Doug's strategy, because if you play GTO, you play GTO. There's not really two ways about it. So all we can sort of speculate on is how Daniel is going to play and react. But I do think that for as long that he is up, he is probably going to be a bit looser. If he's going to get stuck, he's going to maybe be a bit tighter. So clearly, we are just hoping for this run good to continue. And my prediction of 6 buy-ins is still alive.
It is certainly still alive. Remko did predict that Negreanu would win $240,000 in this round. I predicted about $122K. That looks a little more live at this point, but who knows? As we've seen throughout the course of this feud, things could just absolutely blow up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of the heads-up format. And as you said earlier, the pace of play is really high, which also makes it so that every now and then you're going to stumble into 2 big hands clashing.
Yeah, like 3s and ace king.
Exactly. Wow, Boos Broodje, one of our admins, says the only spot to play is Holland Casino at Leidse Plein in Amsterdam. That is where I that's where I played back for the first time in a casino back in 2006 when I was 18 years old. Holland Casino in Amsterdam.
Holland Casino.
Beautiful times.
Did they have a WPT there? Do I remember that correctly or no?
Correct.
Okay. Remember like a real old school episode there.
No. That was Paris. You're thinking of Paris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so they never had a televised one?
No, never a televised one. No, it was in 2015 or 2014. The World Poker Tour came there for the first time, and it was a great event, great turnout. But the old ones you're thinking of with Tony G and Surrender Sinar,
probably, yeah.
That was at the Aviation Club in Paris.
Okay.
Yeah, and Juha Helpi, and Yanni Sontila. Lots of legends in that broadcast.
Juha Helpi was just at a GG final table, one of the WSOP circuit final tables we did. I'm like, oh wow, Juha Helpi.
He's a legend. He's been around forever.
Yeah,
and he
keeps popping up.
Still doing it. Yeah. Mladen Kutlich is asking, which casinos did you visit, Remko? I've probably visited the majority of casinos in Europe and quite a few in the US and abroad as well, in Australia and Asia. I traveled the European Poker Tour for about 7 or 8 seasons as a reporter. So I've been to all those places where the EPT has been. Deauville, Barcelona, London, where else did we go? Snowfest. That was awesome, by the way. And Aussie Millions and APPT in Macau. And the only continent I haven't been to for poker is South America, sadly. I have never had a chance to go to the LAPT.
Now, for some of these international events, they're obviously held at such extravagant resort/casinos. Do you usually get to stay at the place that the tournament is being held, or does it totally depend?
As a reflection of the economic state of the world of poker, it started out that way.
Okay.
And then our accommodations got worse over time. Not to say that I ever had any complaints, but we used to stay at the venue, and then over time it became Airbnb or an apartment or something away from the venue. But yeah, some of the best times I've had was staying at Crown Casino in Melbourne for 2 weeks in like the actual hotel, or Monte Carlo Bay Hotel, where on the inside of the door it says that the usual room rate is 1,200 euros a night. And you're just like, this is a very normal hotel.
Living the dream. Yeah.
Super bizarre, weird times. And I've been to South Africa, to Johannesburg for the World Poker Tour twice. So that was really cool as well.
Okay.
At the Emperor's Palace.
Ooh.
Right by the airport.
Sounds sleek. Joe asks, do folks in the poker industry, players in particular, have dating issues? Like long hours, very boring for the partner if they're not also players? That's kind of a hot topic on Twitter the other week. I know, Joe, you weren't referencing that. But I don't know. It's tough to tell. I mean, I would assume that if you're in the poker industry, poker player, or just work in poker, that the other person in the relationship would at least need to be understanding of that industry and some of the weird hours that it sometimes dictates.
And dating within the industry has led to some hilarious stories over the years. And
that's true. Why don't you fill us in on some of those, Remko?
Well, I mean, the cool thing also is to think of the ones that did work out, like Jason Mercer and Natasha Barber, who are now happily married and have 2 kids and a third on the way, I believe. So every now and then it does work out.
That's true. Negreanu overbetting on table 2. Polk in the tank here. Lace it down.
Element Vegas says, hey, Remko, not bad over here in Silverado Ranch. Funny you say Silverado Ranch, because the first time I ever went to Vegas, I stayed on Silverado Ranch Boulevard, right by the South Point, in one of those small apartments that you guys all know if you've ever driven down Silverado Ranch. And we did not have a car. We took a taxi to the Rio every single day, which was just bizarre, in 2009. And all I ate was Poker Kitchen food and those re-warmed up pizzas that were there.
The Poker Kitchen.
And I gained 23 pounds in 7 weeks. So it was a wonderful time.
Never thought you'd be missing the Poker Kitchen, huh? Now I'm desperate to just have the Poker Kitchen back in our lives.
Yeah, and grab a Bobby. They had those capriotti sandwiches there.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
And then if you would, I mean, people who've been to the Rio and who've been to the Poker Kitchen will know this. If you would go there at the end of the night to get a sandwich, they would have gotten so soggy that the bottom of the bread was just completely wet. It's just terrible. Just terrible.
This guy looks and talks like Jeff Nowitzki. I don't know who you're referring to, but maybe Remko got a little Dirk in him. I don't know.
Jeff Nowitzki, wasn't that the
or the UFC training guy?
No, the guy who went deep in the main event in back-to-back years. Finished, I believe.
Oh yeah. Went deep, right?
12, then what? Some like 12 and 15 or something. The final two tables twice, I think, something like that.
Nick says, please shout out on the air. My Tralala sucks at poker. Says, LOL, come on, Jeff, been trying for months. Since you put in such effort, Nick, since you've been with us for months, I will say just for you that I'm not getting like screwed over here, right? When I'm saying that, I'm not secretly saying something weird.
I mean, you're always secretly saying something weird.
That's true. My Tralala sucks at poker. There you go. Oh, Carlin says that's the GG nickname from for our guy, the Danish sausage for Alex. Well, then, yeah, he definitely sucks at poker. And absolutely is just abysmal. Just lights money on fire.
So Berber3022 says, Remko, had you noticed Doug pre-flop doing more limping to keep the pot around $800 and increased his 3-bet to $5,200? Both never played this way at this point into the challenge. What do you think about that? Well, that's what we've been trying to figure out. It's where this is adjustment coming from. Neither Jeff or I are smart enough to really break this all down for you as far as the nuts and bolts go. But it is a very interesting observation, and I think that it could really change the way this match goes in the next few sessions.
$6 for Polk for about a 10K pot. Pilo, does GGPoker help cover the losers' losses at least partially? No, they do not. This is their own money.
But I do think Jeff Platt covers some of Daniel's losses.
Right. Obviously, I'm his Daniel Negreanu's main backer.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Yep. Ivan, Jeff, do you feel honored to have visited almost all of Europe and done the job you love? I think you want to ask Remko that question. Don't think that is me. I've been to Europe before, once for a poker gig. But that's all Remko right there.
What was that, Jeff? Why'd you go to Europe for poker?
It was, all right, it was Barcelona for Millions stop from Party Poker. And so Poker News was hired to cover it. And so this was before even the 2018 World Series. This was like my first Poker News video presenter, reporter job, whatever you want to call it. And then I wasn't even on camera for that one. Party wanted all of the interviews to be off camera.
What?
Yeah.
So you were like, oh, so I don't have to bring any suits? That's fine with me?
No. I didn't know that until basically I got there.
Oh
I mean, Sarah had given me a little heads up, like this might not be on camera. I'm like, well, I got to be prepared to go on camera, of course. And it was like, no, yeah, you just stay off. We'll just edit the videos. I'm like, oh, you sure? I could just ask them on. No, you just stay. Okay, no problem.
Wow, that's the life.
No problem.
That is the life.
Yeah, but I want it, if I'm going to Barcelona to cover poker, to put me on camera. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
That's true.
Especially like my first poker gig. I wanted to kind of prove myself.
But you were still in Barcelona.
That's true. Yeah, working in Barcelona, trust me, certainly no complaints.
Was it at the Arts Hotel or was it somewhere else?
Yes, it was. The really pretty high-rise spot by the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
with the big metal fish in front of it.
So beautiful. Did not get to stay there.
Oh, I know.
Conversation earlier, like I know.
I covered that APT probably 5 straight years, and every year I was further away from the casino.
They just kept pushing you back.
Yep, kept pushing me back. Good times though.
Terry says, R.I.P. Bills, R.I.P. Brent. Yes, Brent is gone. May he rest in peace. Seagal says, are you kidding me? We got 4,000 viewers and only 500 likes. Come on. This is premium streaming. Hit the like button. Thank you, Seagal. I do just so happen to agree with you.
Facts.
Let's ramp it up a little bit. Click subscribe while you're at it. I mean, it's free. It is free. And trust me, folks, in the future, you want to be subscribed to GGPoker on YouTube as Polk rips it here on the river on table 1.
Whoa.
Negreanu had raised river after Polk led small. Doug Polk went Rip City. For about 30K more, Negreanu lays it down.
Daniel's still in the lead this session, which obviously will help the mood as to how long this session might ultimately be.
Harry says, come to London. Love to, Harry. Absolutely love to. Thanks for the invite. I assume that trip will be on you.
I finally found the smartest person in the chat.
Okay.
Matthew Moran says, I like anything with Remko on it. I mean, hey.
There we go.
Here to serve. Here to serve.
There we go. Great bluffs. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying Justin Prince also makes a good counter argument. He says, I think he would get more likes if the two commentators left. So, Jeff.
Okay. See you later. Thank you. Good to be here. Thank you, Justin. You take it from here.
What a wonderful time to be alive. Providing commentary on a high-stakes heads-up match.
It's a beautiful thing. Great Bluff says, once Party Poker saw what you look like, they said no camera. Maybe that was it. Yeah, maybe that was it. But then Dave says, can't imagine why someone would not want Jeff on camera. They didn't know what they were missing. My man. Thank you, Dave.
Todd says, Remko sounds like a dishwasher brand. Hey, if you want to start a business, I'm selling I'm selling my name for your idea. There's a price. There is a price. On behalf of Faith, shout out to Faith. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. It's been a while since we mixed it up in the mixed game streets.
Yeah, what's up, Faith? Love Faith. Mixed games crusher. Video poker crusher. Loves the vino.
Oh,
we all get along just fine.
A lot of things in common with certain people.
Yeah. If you have any sense of gamble in you, or any sense of wine drinking, you know, any love of sports, or even if you none of that, we'll still probably get along.
Exactly. Back, I see more and more bike questions coming up. I do have a gravel bike. I also have a road bike. But if you want more bike talk, hit me up on Fuck This Hill on Instagram.
There it is.
So we'll leave the bike talk for the Instagram streets.
At FCK This Hill.
Exactly.
Correct.
I'm a vlogger now too, Jeff. Can you believe that? It's kind of insane.
Wow.
Yeah. Doing a cycling vlog.
Look at you. So where do you put the vlog? On YouTube?
Yeah, Fuck This Hill on YouTube.
Okay. You guys are just expanding.
Exactly. Empire. Empire. Total empire. And Jess, my lovely girlfriend, she makes all our logos and all our merch. She's a genius with that stuff.
Yeah, so you know those look good.
Yeah, exactly. En JV Zwijnenburg says, Remko, ben je Nederlands? Absoluut, ik ben zeker Nederlands. Shout out to all the Dutch people watching today.
I agree.
I didn't even curse. I just said something nice. That's a big pot, though, on the left. 3 spades out there.
Action on Doug Polk. Checks back on the turn. Another king pops up on the river.
Ooh, this board has all the potential. Straights, flushes, full houses, everything is possible. And then, of course, these guys are going to show up with like nothing and nothing and bluff each other.
Yeah, the 6 is good.
There you go.
6 is good.
There you go. There you go.
And people say Remko couldn't analyze the high stakes feud.
Here, just genius take. The first
that was perfect.
Just nailed it right away.
That was perfect. Steve says, Jeff, you're too nice. Do you have a dark side? Not really.
I mean, he's still dyeing his hair to keep the dark side going, but you're turning gray, right, Jeff?
Yeah, that much is very true. I got some gray here, I got some gray there, I got some gray in here.
Would you dye your hair, or are you gonna embrace the
I would just embrace it, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I got a lot of gray coming in the beard. I think sophisticated is the word for it.
Sophisticated, yes, that's what the ladies say. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Dan says, Jeff, is your gamble show on tomorrow still, or is Hank's dead? No, I think we're still planning on No Gamble, No Future tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on PokerGo's YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook channels. Harry says, Jeff, I'm not sponsoring the trip, but I'll buy you guys a dirty pint. What's a dirty pint? Like, what's the difference between that and a
Can I guess?
clean pint?
Can I guess?
Yeah, go for it.
If I hear dirty pint, I think a pint of beer and you toss a shot glass in it. Would that make sense? Like a shot in a beer?
So like you have your cold beer right here, and you're just gonna take a shot of tequila, whiskey, vodka, whatever, and just pour it in.
No, you toss the whole with the glass. Everything.
Oh, with the glass?
Boom.
That sounds terrible.
I lived in South Korea for a year, and we do that all the time. Like with soju, you would have a beer. Height was the beer of choice usually. It's a light beer, and then you would toss a shot of soju in your beer, which actually kind of worked. Kind of nice. Tastes good.
Il Simodante says, Jeff, last session you and the commentators on Doug's stream agreed that DNegs was playing really well, but during the interview, DNegs said he played the worst. Where's the truth? I don't know, but the truth is that Daniel Negreanu knows a lot more about poker than I do. How about that? Polk fires 6K with 18K in the pot.
Now that I've said one sentence in Dutch, they all want my Dutch side. I'm not going to bore 99% of the audience with me speaking Dutch, but I do appreciate the sausage tweeting out the link to our Instagram channel. That's very.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Alex. 31K in the pot now on table 2. Ooh. Third club pops up on the river. Polk is about 30K behind. All of it.
Wow. No snap call.
No snap. As Polk overbets on table 1, also Negreanu folds. Folding on table 2 as well.
Did I nail the drink? The dirty.
I don't know.
Was it Harry who said that?
Yeah, it's Harry.
Harry said 100% Remko. Got it. Nailed it.
Wow, good job, Remko. Can I take the shot on the side, Harry? Will you still buy it?
But the whole point here, Jeff, is to get a light beer that doesn't have a lot of flavor. And
okay, that's what I would do anyway. But yes, okay.
Then you add that shot to it, and I would say a clear liquor is probably the way to go. And I'm not saying gin. I'm saying probably a vodka, tequila. Oh. Tequila would probably work too because it's not as overpowering. If you throw whiskey in a beer, don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, Daniel, Irish car bomb. You drop a shot into a Guinness beer. Oh, yeah, not for me. But I'm down to go to London and drink with you guys. And if you guys want to come to Vegas, we'll go out for drinks. It'll be great.
Yeah, but if you go to London, you can't have a vodka soda. That's not the right cultural experience.
What about tequila soda?
No, it's not.
What about tequila on the rocks?
No, it's either shots tequila and chasing beers or something along those lines.
Okay.
The British wouldn't stand for that.
Okay, Remko, tell me how to pronounce Boosbridgie. Boosbridgie? Boosbridgie? Our guy Jeff in the chat. I believe it's Boosbridgie, but before you do, Eric says, aloha, Jeff just received the COVID vaccine. See you guys in March, spring break, happy hour. Aloha, Eric. Aloha, Eric. That's awesome. Great news.
The only way to properly use the COVID vaccine is degeneracy that you can then expose yourself to again.
Right. First, after you get the vaccine, let's go to Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby. Yeah, but Boos broodje should be
I'm sorry?
Boos broodje.
Bose?
Bose.
Bose? Like Bose headphones?
Almost, yeah. Bose.
Bose?
Broodje.
I don't do the rolled R's thing. Broja?
That's closer. But
Bose broja.
Oh, it's incredible.
What does it mean in Dutch?
It means angry sandwich.
it means angry sandwich. Is there something lost in translation there?
No, it's angry sandwich. I think it's a brilliant nickname because in Dutch it alliterates nicely, and in English it makes no sense, which is kind of perfect.
Yeah, it certainly makes no sense to us stupid Americans, but I guess we're missing something there. All right, Remko, I'm taking a quick break. I'm leaving you in the hands of Carlin. Carlin, you jump in. Remko loves the Bitcoin talk. Carlin, so just the more Bitcoin, the better. And I will be right back.
Finally, an eloquent European to talk with instead of these Americans, uncultured beings. Oh, it's just terrible. All right, Daniel, still ahead, I think, by the latest count. We should get an update soon. Hope that we didn't crash the stream. Oh, there's Carlin. We didn't crash the stream. Everything is still running. That's good.
Yeah, all right. The beard gang.
Yeah, exactly. Carlin, why don't you grow the beard out longer? That's my question.
I trimmed it last week. It was long as hell. Only last week. I trimmed it during the weekend, I guess, if I remember correct.
The hairs of your beard look as though you could shave down a piece of wood with it.
Yeah.
Like
it's
steel.
Yeah, it is. It's really thick. It's really strong. Really masculine. A lot of testosterone. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. Beautiful. Very erect beard. Very erect. Very strong.
So how do you pronounce Boos Broodje's name?
Boos Broodje.
Boos Broodje.
Yes, look at this. Wow, Jeff should be even more embarrassed. You did that much better than I did.
Boos Broodje.
Exactly. Are you from Czech Republic originally?
I'm from Armenia originally.
Armenia.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was born and I live in Czech Republic my whole life.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I watched this YouTube channel of the bald guy traveling around the world.
Bald and Bankrupt?
Yeah, Bald and Bankrupt, and he was in Armenia.
Yeah, I watch him as well from time to time.
Yeah, it's pretty good to watch. Do you have any hope left for the session? That's what I'm wondering. Do you have any hope left?
I mean, it's poker. You never know. You know, like stuff happens.
It's facts.
I'm gonna stay here until we see another 50k pot. Actually, let's up it up. Let's go 60k. I'm not going nowhere.
Wow. Well, the last time you said so, it happened, and it was the biggest part of the session so far, I believe, or at least close to it. So maybe you are the X factor here. Maybe you should just stay on.
Yep. Yeah. I was here as well on Friday, and we've seen some stuff on Friday.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we've seen some stuff.
We're also learning that a Boilermaker is a whiskey shot in a beer, and multiple people reference that, so I'm guessing it's pretty popular. Carlin, what's your drink of choice? Please don't tell me it's vodka soda.
No, it's whiskey. A glass of whiskey. Yeah.
Thank God. I can tell by your voice that it's whiskey.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeff,
from time to time, though, like I'm not a big drinker guy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, drinking sometimes is just about having a good time with friends.
Yeah.
And drinking to get drunk is a whole different level. It's not really my thing either.
Yep.
9K from Daniel here on the turn. I'll do my best Jeff Platt impersonation. 7-9 deuce rainbow with a 10 on the turn.
You got to mention ESPN.
Oh,
in
yeah.
every second sentence you say.
Board pairs on the river with the 7, 33K in the middle. Let's see if Daniel continues here. Doug has a little over pot size left behind.
Watch this 60k pot right away.
Shove. There's an all in. See ya, Carlin. No, there's only 30.
Count? Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. No, it doesn't count. Uncalled bet. By the way, Daniel up to 115K in that right table and 74 on the left table. So clearly he's extending his lead in the session. Can we get some numbers? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm curious to see what the standings currently are. A question we'll ask Remko, what's the drunkest you've been? I don't remember. I think that's the only answer.
I mean, that's the only answer. Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah. But it was probably in Prague. Let's just assume.
Most likely close, Darlin as well.
Yeah. Lots of pivo.
No.
That was the name of my neighbor's cat.
Pivo?
Yeah.
He just named his cat on like beer.
He went skiing in Czech Republic, and then he came back and named his cat Pivo.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was a good choice. I'm drinking some wonderful Waterloo sparkling water, lemon lime, no free ads. I'm on my third can. Might get drunk tonight. Update on the numbers. Daniel up $74,000, and Carlin is going to translate that into Bitcoin.
It's approximately 2.1 Bitcoin.
2.1 Bitcoin up.
2.1 Bitcoin. Yep.
Beautiful. So on the total match, Daniel now down 548K. If my prediction holds up, we're going to go below 500 today.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be great. Still people claiming that Doug is playing scared. I don't think scared is the right word. I think adjustment is the right word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. We're all rooting for some big swingers.
Kevin says, Carlin, I'm watching on the big screen and my wife just heard you talk from the kitchen and asked, who's the guy with the sexy voice? Yeah, that was Remko. Tell her it was Remko for sure. It wasn't me.
I mean, I can try all I want, but I can never have a voice this deep.
I mean, you have a deep voice as well. It's not like you have a uptone voice.
I have a good mic.
Oh yeah, me as well. It's the mic, guys. It's the mic.
It is definitely the mic. It is definitely the mic. Yeah. If you ever want to impress someone with your voice, you have to just buy a fancy microphone. It makes you sound so much better right away.
You see, I have like 2 filters on the mic as well. Totally unnecessary.
He goes double filter. I only have one, but I have this net thingy around it.
Yep.
That's supposed to help too for when you knock into your own table.
True.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And I have a ring light now, so it's like a professional production over here now.
Yep. I have a ring light as well. Do you want to see my ring light?
It sounds like a sexual innuendo. But,
I mean, watch. I have a very big ring light. Remko,
it's a cock ring light. Carlin, just show it. Just show him. Just whip it out. Wow, it's very bright. Damn, man, that is the brightest light I've ever seen. Yeah, now it's like a black hole. That's like a full-on softbox situation.
Yep. That's for when I shoot castings and stuff in the studio.
And when you're naked on your stream, it brings out your pecs better.
Yep. Shadow tricks.
What did I walk into?
Oh, Carlin was about to get undressed.
Weird timing. Weird timing. Huh.
I was just showing my ring light, Jeff.
I'm sure you were. Yeah. I'm sure you were. So what's the deal? What I miss? Anything?
Daniel made a big river shove hoping to get Carlin off the stream because he promised to leave at a 60K pot. That failed. Doug didn't call, so now we're stuck with Carlin for another half hour probably.
It will be quick. Just watch table number 1, 5 by jam. Incoming. No? Okay. Almost.
Lots of alcohol talk in the chat. I appreciate it. Basil Hayden. What is that again? It sounds familiar. It's like a cocktail, right?
So I guess on the English translation, Patrick says we have this fierce rivalry with French people, so it's more lost in translation from French to Dutch, and it's like the mad baguette is beaux broget. What is that? Did I say it right?
No.
That's funny.
Beaux broget.
European rivalries are really funny when it comes to football or soccer, as they like to call it here in the U.S. The Dutch want to beat the Germans. The Germans want to beat the English. The English want to beat the French.
And the Americans are the greatest of all.
Except they suck at soccer.
But in everything else, the Americans are the greatest of all.
The Americans are the best at claiming to be the best at everything.
Yes, there we go.
And also at printing fake money by Bitcoin.
Exactly, so fake.
Oh, is that what Americans accuse Bitcoin of being?
Wow, Nick White coming out with the confession. He says, Remko, I was the guy who hit you in high school. I'm sorry. I secretly loved you. I'm a loser now. I still love you, Remy. Nick, thanks so much. It's a load off my back to
Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Daniel, how much you got writing on DNegs? I have a little bit on DNegs. That was back in the 4.5 to 1 days. So I would thoroughly enjoy a comeback. I mean, for the sake of the stream, of course, but also a side note for yours truly.
I'm just waiting for the match to be over, and then I'm going to bet on the winner.
Smart. Good strategy. 16K in the pot on table 2. Doug Polk fires 10K. There's Negreanu. bets pot on table 1.
Ooh, we're loosening up a little bit.
A little bit. Negreanu calls on table 2, 36K in the pot there. 3 diamonds on the river.
Seems like a very insignificant river card.
Yeah, you would assume that is a blank.
I mean, I'm not the greatest poker player, but 3 of diamonds just seems very insignificant. There
Polk
it is.
rips it.
As the French say, tapis.
That's 58,000, by the way, so I'm not going anywhere. Unless Daniel calls, of course.
Yeah, this is a...
Negreanu does call with a 10. That 10 is no good, as Polk had turned a jack for about an 81 pot. Negreanu immediately sits out. Probably for another quick break.
Looks like a banana break. I'll update.
Oh,
the
he did
score.
give the ... I mean, it could just be a super short session today.
And
Which, to me, Remko and Carlin would kind of make a little sense that when Doug Polk does something new that's so drastic, that you would just want to play effectively the bare minimum and then, you know, take some time, consult with your coaches, and back with a strategy against that on Wednesday.
Yep,
that might be the case.
That's the smartest thing you've said all day, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like really, really proud of that. So thank you for acknowledging that.
That was great
We will, of
analysis.
course, ask Daniel Negreanu about that. He will join us for his exclusive post-game interview
So we're getting...
if this session is indeed done.
So they're playing one table now? Daniel's
No,
still
I think
playing
they
on-
just finish off, like they want to do the equal amount of buttons for each player. So I would assume this is the last hand. And yes, that will do it.
Alrighty, guys.
All right, Carlin. I know you're off to set up the Negreanu interview. So
Yep,
good to see you. We'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
will do. Yep,
All right, Carlin, good to see you, man. Don't shave.
never.
All right, Remko. Here we are. So it looks like a small win for DNegs. Our latest tally had DNegs up about 46K. Oh, and that is from a minute ago. So it looks like a 1 buy-in win for Negreanu.
Yeah, so basically exactly the opposite of what I was trying to predict.
Right.
So I said either win big or lose big, and yet we are back to the grind.
But yeah, a win is a win, and we're kind of on that pace to what he was referring to before last week. You know, you chop a buy-in or 2 off per session. This one, of course, a shorter session. They probably played around the, 400 to 500 hand mark, getting us past the 19,000 hand mark. So very, very curious to hear what Daniel Negreanu has to say about this one. He will join us momentarily.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, Jeff, you and I both have sort of similar questions for Daniel, but I'm very curious, especially what he has to say today. And meanwhile, while we still have you guys, we still have a chance to hit 1,000 likes on the YouTube video today. We're at 723. You guys better smash the hell out of that like button so we can close this out with 1,000 likes as Daniel is about to join the stream.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, guys, we're about to talk to Daniel Negreanu. It's the exclusive post-match high-stakes Feud interview with Daniel Negreanu. How do you not just click the thumbs up button? And if you have any questions in the chat, feel free to let us know, and we can relay those questions to Daniel. He is in the waiting room. We are admitting him now. And just like that, here he is, Daniel Negreanu, joining us right now. Perfect. All right, so we all saw the shift in strategy. We saw Doug start to limp a little bit on plenty of buttons. What was your reaction to that when you saw it?
I'm a little, I did not expect that. I mean, is this the fireworks everyone expected? Monday after 300K sessions? Woo, we're going to go to war. Honestly, I mean, obviously I'm thinking, why is he doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about like the pressure he's under, realizing that, it's become significant because he doesn't have just money on this, match to play. He's got a big side bet on the line, right? So it's clear to me that there's fear and concern over now losing that lead. Right? So now it's like, oh boy, let's hang on tight. But as far as playing against it, it kind of, Like, I feel for him, honestly. I do, because I can't imagine he enjoys, first of all, he doesn't like playing poker much anyway. I can't imagine he enjoys playing the way that he did today because he can't win. Like, there's no world where this strategy that he's employed is going to actually be plus EV. He's going to be losing EV to me. The question is how much he loses. If he, for example, if he plays this way the whole way, it's only a question of how much he loses, not a question of like, whoever runs the best. He just can't win, but could protect the lead that way. I felt like it's kind of like, if you were in a fight against the tiger, but they took his teeth out and gave him a Quaalude and like had some sedatives. Like, Doug is an aggressive guy, right? He's an aggressive smash mouth kind of player. So for him to be like limp, check, fold, like it's like so he has to hate it. I would imagine that like I said, there's probably other people that bet on it. And so he had to succumb to the pressure. I don't fault the guy. Like, he's got a lot of money on it. And it's good for me because, like I said, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose to a guy like playing that style. It's just not a thing. Like, it actually makes it takes variance out of it for the most part. And it's just like guaranteed win. Now, I quit early for a couple of reasons. One, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Right? Yeah. Like, so we did not exactly chart out a strategy because I never thought there would be limping unless it was very, very late. So we didn't chart out a strategy on how to, defend or like to best play against the limp, and then the limp re-raises and different things like that. So I'm going to take a look at that tonight and be prepared for it Wednesday. I don't know. I would imagine he's going to come with that again on Wednesday, or maybe he goes back to playing the way that he was. But it was a very massive shift. And I guess, like I said, bad for the fans, I think, because they're like, oh, man, it's just going to be nitty check shit. Okay. What are you going to do?
I have a question about this very topic because we've been thinking about it for the last few hours watching this. Did you think, or is there anything to assume in him doing this to elicit some sort of response from you, to maybe raising too big or maybe playing your ranges incorrectly because you might not be used to that? And do you think that in line with that, he might try a new approach again on Wednesday to keep you sort of on your toes?
I guess in theory, like, he can try to, mix in, like, and he has, we've both, evolved and changed our strategies going forward. And I think, he could go back to something else, or I don't know what, but like ultimately it feels like, I'm hanging on for, it's like running out the clock, right? There's like 8 minutes left, he's up by 20 points and he's just like, all right, we're going to kneel on the ball here and we're going to run it up the middle. We're going to, just whatever, punt. And, and actually by punt, I mean not punt, right, in the poker terms. But it was really surprising. Yeah, I did not expect him to come in so meekly and so like really just wave the white flag and say like, because I thought all the bravado, and it was like, when you heard him talk, he's like, I'm just going to win as maximum amount of money as I can, right? Yeah. Like that's been the tagline. I'm just going to go in there. I'm not going to, and like when he was asked the question, will you quit? Will you just shut down if you've got the match won? Would say 1,500 hands, and he said no, absolutely not, because he's just gonna try to go to the end. I think when the proof is in the pudding, like based on this like new approach, that he is looking to shut it down. He's not trying at this point. I don't think he's trying to play what he deems to be the best strategy in this match. I believe he's doing what he thinks gives him the best chance to lock it up, and that means for me, with I don't know, we played 400 hands or something today. With about 6,000 hands, it means just like EV for me. The question is how much. Obviously, I'm a dog. I was a dog either way. I was a dog if he played well, and I was a dog if he was going to play poorly, like this. Like, and I thought he's played great the whole thing. I thought he played quite poorly today, with the strategy. I just felt like he lost a lot of EV on the last hand there. Of course, I had ace 10, come 10 high, turn a jack, and he had king jack. So, such is life, YOLO. But oddly, it's like, all right, well, I can't fold, but this is like new nitty Doug. This is Grandma Doug. Right. Grandma Doug, like, well, shit. Grandma Doug bets it. You gotta lay it down because Grandma bet. Grandma Dougie, he's gonna have it.
So with that new defensive approach that he's taking, is there realistically enough time left for you to complete this kind of a comeback?
Well, that's the issue, right? Because we are running out of time.
Yeah.
I felt like it was only a matter of time till we closed the gap. And maybe, could, really push through. And obviously in the last session, found some things that was really working well. today, I mean, I won about a buy-in. I think I won like 50K or something like that. So
Yeah.
If I win a buy-in, like if I win 50K every single time, that's actually doable, frankly. Like I said, if he plays exactly like this, I think I would expect to win. Like I don't know how many big blinds per 100 I can win, but I think I could win a decent chunk. Maybe not as many as I would need to, but certainly a favorite. Like again, like if he plays like this on Wednesday and there's a betting market for like poker shares or whatever, you have to bet on me going forward. It's just like burning money if you don't, because again, he can win, but not often. He's just like not winning enough money when he has good hands in this way. You know what I mean? Like I was really surprised. Like I thought maybe he would make some adjustments because that was, that always is
Sure.
the thing. But to go all the way down to just sort of like, kneeling with 8 minutes to go left on the clock. I mean, like I said, I feel bad for him because I know deep down, like he didn't want to do that. Like he did not want to just cower and be like, all right, I will, I'll take the win. He wanted to come in there firing, win $2 million. Well, go get me. But in the end, it's like actually when money talks, big money talks, it's like the bravado goes to like, oh shit, I guess I better fucking knuckle down on this one.
It's a very interesting situation as well for you because you have a gap to close, but it's hard to increase variance and to play, as you refer to it, as almost like a crazy monkey style poker when the pots aren't getting inflated by pre-flop action. So if he were to continue this limping strategy, which I think there's a good case to be made for him to do that, how do you think you might be able to still get to a point where you're comfortable in saying that you can still close the gap?
So here's the thing, right? You look at it from an EV perspective, right? And I haven't done the work on this, so we're going to look. But like, I can increase the variance in position, right? Because all the pots I play in position, which is the place you want to be, are going to be way bigger, right? Then when he's in position, whatever value he's supposed to get from me is chopped because he's playing the nitty like limpy style, right? Like his earn is going to lessen. Whereas I'm like if I just win what I'm supposed to on the button, because like when you're the button, you're supposed to make money, right? And you're supposed to try to maximize your profit. By playing the limpy strategy, you're doing the opposite. You're actually minimizing your profit. Like you're playing smaller pots in position, which your opponent's playing pots. Like that's a simple thing I learned. I don't know, before solvers and all that junk. Just as a kid, when I played against a guy who limped every hand, I'm like, I can just min raise her a little bit, and I'm playing double the stakes in position. My opponent's playing half the stakes. Plus, I get to realize equity with hands I would have folded too, right? So like I get 8-3 offsuit, which is one of the hands they played. Check, check, flop, turn to 3, river and 8. Okay, cool. I mean, 2 pair, whatever. It's like free found money, right? Don't flop nothing, big deal. Didn't cost me a penny on the 8-3. If he bets the flop, I just fold. He checked the flop because because part of that nitty style is this now. Now your C bets have to be 50% pot. Like you can't bet less. You can't bet 30. You can't bet 25. You got to bet half pot or pot, right? So it actually, I mean, like I said, I can't imagine that. Like he obviously did the work over the weekend, and I don't know if he came up with it himself or with someone else, but I can't imagine for a guy who doesn't enjoy poker, enjoys playing a style where, the variance is going to be low. Because like part of what made Doug so successful, right, is the fact that he could like run people over and he played a high variance game. And that's why he was able to dominate guys who weren't willing to do that. So for a guy like that to come to this is just, it was really shocking to me, and it just tells me that at this point, the financial side bets on the table are going to have an influence on the match in a significant way. And I wasn't sure, like, I guess I sort of believed it for a minute that like he was actually going to try to win the maximum amount of money against me. But that clearly, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe there's like this limping thing is like, woo, the nuts, the future. But it's easy to play against. It's just not hard. Like, I mean, I'm not going to give you all the defenses against it, but like intuitively without even working on it, I already have because I played a lot in the old days when people did play like this.
Right.
And I never lost. Like I didn't even have a losing session against guys like that when they played like that. It just would be impossible to lose back then. He's obviously better, and he's going to, do this, employ the strategy as effectively as you can. I just think it's an inferior strategy in terms of EV.
Could it just be Doug hitting the brakes for one session to take the momentum out of your style and what worked on Friday and how you were able to play a high variance style that really worked, and him just being like, okay, I'm going to shut things down today, get back to 0, and then we'll resume this match on Wednesday?
Could be. Your guess is as good as mine, you know? Like, again, like I said, I mean, we have another like 11 sessions to go, right? He's already talked about wanting to quit poker, retire, get out there. Like, it's going to be torturous for him to play that way, right? Because like, that's not what he wants to do. Like, there's no way that, because you know, everything that he talks about in terms of how to play poker is the antithesis of what he did today. So similar to when I experimented with flatting with like big pairs and ace king for a minute to do something, that lasted about a session or two. And then I was like, all right, this is fucking too stupid. I got to play properly. So I don't know. Maybe he will go back to playing correctly on Wednesday or trying to maximize EV. But I mean, it would be weird to just play like one session like this and then be like, all right, nah, never mind. I'm going back to playing the other way. So I'm going to prepare for both. I'm going to prepare for both, and then whatever else comes up, you know? And if he throws in some like 9x opens on the button, like, you know, instead, well, then that'll be a short session as well. And then I'm gonna do some research on how to play against the 9x open. But yeah, today was like, I don't know. I felt dominant in a lot of ways, like mentally, physically. Like I'm like, just like you feel like I'm always in attack mode here for the most part, you know, in a match like that when a guy's limping like that. So it feels nice because you feel like you have complete control of the match. But again, obviously, you know, I'm happy to increase variance because, you know, we have a lot of buy-ins, 14 and a half buy-ins or something to make up. But I don't know. Slow and steady's fine too. I'll take a buy-in per session if I could win that.
And I know you feel bad for him, but
not really.
With that said,
I mean, he's up a lot of money. I don't really feel bad.
Sure,
but like,
sure.
I
feel
can
bad for this
empathize with
specific.
him, like feeling like he has to play like somewhat castrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but despite feeling, you know, dominant in this session, do you still feel personally disappointed that you can't just go to war? Forget where we are in the challenge and how much money you need to make up or whatever it may be, but like, you know, you've come a long way, and heads up, he's one of the best opponents that you can find in the entire world. Is it a little bit frustrating that you can't, you know, just take him on, go mano a mano, and let's go to war?
Yeah, like, yes and no, right? Like, you know, on the one hand, obviously, you know, to win the match, variance is good for me. But on the other hand, it's like, if he wants to sort of like, because I don't have that much on the side. I really don't. Like, I don't have a big side bet. So it doesn't matter to me as much. I just win. I'm trying to win for Perky and other people like that. But for me, if he wants to like give back 200-300K in equity, so that like instead of me losing, you know, like whatever 500 that I'm losing now, like guarantee that I'll be like a winner the rest of the way. Because this, my opinion, and again I could be wrong, is there's no chance. Like, you know, there's a lot of variance in heads up poker. Not when someone plays like that. Just not, right? Mm-hmm. So the winner is going to be me, just period. Like over the long term against that approach. So. So yeah, I mean, listen, on the bright side, I'll get back 200-300K. But yeah, you know, the downside is it makes it a lot more difficult to actually win the match. Luckily for me, it's worth more for him to play the way that he played today. But yeah, I think for the fans and for Perky and everybody, I'd rather just like go YOLO and, you know, get it in. We did get it in once with 2 threes against Ace King.
Yeah, take us through that one, please.
That was a what do you call that? It was a low variance. It was a low frequency play with the threes. So I do have a frequency where specifically threes, man. It's always, the solver just loves it some pocket threes, right? So the solver has against a 4-bet when you pop, because you don't always 3-bet with threes, right? You don't always. You sometimes flat, you sometimes 3-bet. So when you do 3-bet and you get 4-bet with the threes, it also has a frequency to 5-bet. So I happened to roll the number to 5-bet, and he had the Ace King, and you know, old DNegs, we flopped the set, which was nice. He made aces and kings too.
Yeah.
Man, pretty brutal. And then what else was there? I guess the last hand, I mean, I flop a 10 with an ace, turns a jack. It's a very good card for him to barrel. Kind of like he did the other session with the Queen 8, where he just, you know, bombed. And then on the river, I'm just getting too good a price. But yeah, you know, it's like, whoa, it's just, you know, it's different. Like usually it's a snap call, but like the way he was playing, it's like maybe not, because he was like so risk averse, you know, in a lot of spots. But yeah, like, listen, whatever he wants to play, I'm down. Like, I'm here. I agreed to the challenge. I agreed to play it to the end, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give him my best chance to win the match. Either way, whether he plays whether he plays not to lose or whether he plays to win. And today felt like he was just playing not to lose. And sometimes, if you watch golf, right, and you watch a guy with a 3-stroke lead, right, and he's going into the final 4 holes, and he's like, all right, no, put the driver away, just give me 3. And now he's got a little longer to hit. Oh, now he's in a bunker. Oh, go in the water. Hold on. Good luck. Oh, he just flew the green. He's got to get on. Now he's going to make a 6-footer. Oh, shit. Double bogey. There we go. Now the pressure's on, right? So there's no easy way to the finish line playing that way, because you're gonna constantly feel like you're under pressure and you're not applying much, right? Like what pressure is he gonna apply when he limps the button and I check? There's 2 big blinds in there. What are you gonna 2x pot? Ooh, it's $800. Wow, like really got me with that one, right? There's just not a lot of bite to that style of game, And I'd say this, in tournaments, you definitely want to do some limping for sure. Short stack. Yeah.
Let me flip the script on you. What if you were ahead by 600K or 500K right now? Given that the match could have very easily, with some variance, have been in your favor, how do you think Doug would have reacted if you would have said in an interview, yeah, I'm just here to ride it out. I don't care. I'll give back a few 100K, but I'm going to win the match. How do you think it would have been perceived by him, by the fans, by all the Daniel haters that we know love to chirp whenever something happens? Like, how do you think this scenario would have played out if the roles were reversed?
Oh, I would own it. Like, I'll own it even, when I do take the lead, in a couple thousand hands, like, or if that, that would happen, which let's hope it does. I'll own it. Like, if there's 100 hands left and I'm up enough, sit out. I mean, if that means I give back 80K, I win by $1, I'm down. The moment that happens, I'd be snap sitting out. And, like I said, when Benny Vidi was playing against Phil Galfond, and I don't know the guy, but I guess he was offended or whatever, but I thought he made a big mistake against Phil. He was up 46 buy-ins in PLO, right? And I know, as big as he was up, was winner, like, he doesn't want to limp and he wants to play the game, but like, he let Phil Galfond get back in the match where that match was toast. Like, that match was over. Like, he could have deployed a strategy. So my intention during the match was to do whatever it took to win the match, right? That's why when I was stuck $1 million, I'm like, all right, variance increase. Let's go. We're going to give it a shot. Got back into the match a little bit with a nice big 10 buy-in win. Pick up another buy-in today. We'll see what we're in store for on Wednesday. But tonight we will have a night of looking over, what do you do against, because I want to play really, really well against this, right? Because I think there's a lot of ways to, really push the envelope. And I don't know that I did, right? Like, what ranges are supposed to raise after a limp and what's, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to learn a little bit about that. Just learn about, I'm not going to give you all the details, but I'm going to definitely learn. And I think that, like, I'm a quick learner. So it's instinctively seemed very easy to play against, because, like, theoretically, right? Like, if there's 2 big blinds in the pot, any mistake you make is minimal in terms of number of big blinds, right? If there's 2 big blinds in the pot and the guy bets 1 and you call incorrectly, you're losing like 0.0000 whatever of a big blind in EV. If there's 200 big blinds out there and you bomb 200 big blinds on the river with the wrong hand, you're just like, you just made a 40 big blind mistake, like massive errors, right? So it's not really that difficult, because even, if you are making some small mistakes, they're so small that what he gives up in EV by limping, more than makes up for, small mistakes in terms of hands that I'm not raising that I should, or whatever, not peeling properly, all that kind of stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Friday was the first time that we got a little clarity on whether or not there'd be a rematch of sorts. I mean, you said it, and Doug said that he just doesn't really enjoy poker, that he can't wait for 25,000 hands to hit so that he can just step back and take another break. And I don't know if that means retirement or come back in a year or whatever. So with that said, do you have any plans for your future after this challenge wraps up, or are you focused in on these next couple of weeks?
Well, for now, I'm focusing on this, and then I'm playing in the POG Championships, which is like a really big deal in the chess world.
Nice.
And I'm in there with Rainn Wilson and a bunch of big-time 6 streamers. So I'll be playing that in the middle of February, and I'm not very good at chess, but apparently the guys who coached me said I'm like top 3, top 4. I'm like, okay, that's good. So I'll be working on, just playing that. But then going forward, hopefully after COVID and stuff like that, I'd love to issue some challenges on GGPoker. right? So we can get some time in on the GG software playing. I mean, I know Garrett Adelstein challenged me to a match potentially, and I'm sure that there'll be people lined up. I'm going to pick and choose, right? I don't want to play against the wizard. Like, I'm not playing like, the top wizards. I'll play guys who are like, retired, like Doug was, or not online gurus, but there's not a lot of value in me like saying, oh, Limitless and Linus, like, let's go. Well, why would I do that? I play them live. I'll play them live poker because it's just different, right? Live poker, you don't have access to as much data, right? Like, you're just playing live. You don't get to see shit. You don't get to track nothing. You just play. You just gotta get a feel for like, oh, you play a guy live. You don't go get to look at a sheet later and go, oh, look at these frequencies. You can't do that when you play live. So that really limits players who use GTO as a method of play and like trying to find exploits in their opponents by using data. Like playing live poker, there's none of that. So live poker is a lot more pure in that regard. Obviously, online poker is super tough because by adding all these extra variables and information, you're like, man, there's just so much more stuff, right? Which is why I think a lot of players of my era really struggle with online poker because that's not how they think about the game. They're just losing too much. They're losing out too much by not being able to by having all their frequencies exposed. Like Phil Ivey's a good example. Phil Ivey, I mentioned this in a previous thing, but like there was a point where he was just crushing people heads up, right? But then, they accumulate data and they start to see some of the things Phil's doing that is not GTO, and they figure out a way to exploit it. Similar to what happened to Isildur when Brian Townsend and Hastings and those guys did something shady a little bit where they, according to, I don't know the exact thing, but they shared a database of his hands, and then they broke down all the weaknesses. You can't really do that when you play live poker, especially if you're doing it not on TV with hole cards, right? Like you can't just go, you don't know what people are doing. Well, and also playing on WSOP, we don't have access to that either. Although we both agreed you could, hire some people to give you some data if you want it. But it's still not the same. It's not the same as just like using a Hold'em manager or something like that, where you can just plug in all the hands and it gives you everything. It gives you some very detailed stuff. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's a weird spot for the match now after the biggest win, and then seeing what we have today. I think a lot of people will be interested to see what happens Wednesday in terms of what he chooses to do, whether or not he continues to deploy the strategy, or if he just buttons up, and some other. I mean, I'm going to try to. I don't know. I think there are ways. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try to do whatever I can to give maximize my big blinds per 100, because playing against this big blind, I'm definitely a favorite. There's no question. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you guys watched today and you disagree, but if you see the hands, like if you saw my hole cards today and his, I would be very surprised to hear people thought that he has an edge if he plays like that. So, so from that perspective, I'm very confident if he does play that way that I will win, money from here on out. Because again, it's a relatively low variance style where, I'm not really in a bunch of bad spots. Just not that, he limped the button, I check. What bad spots am I going to get in? It's just not that hard.
I have a PogCham's chess question.
Sure.
I want to see a showdown between Hikaru and Gotham at the poker table. Can you please help in the future, COVID and all this stuff behind us, make that happen? And also, get Lex and Spraggy and all those guys involved, because I know there's a beautiful relationship blooming between the poker and the chess crowd.
I could see so many ways in which we can combine poker and chess for some sort of gambling triathlon type thing with where you have a team and you got to do different things. There's actually a form of chess which is fantastic. I did it on the most recent lesson that I did with Gotham chess. It's called brain to hand or something like that, hand to brain. Where let's say I'm the chess guru, I'm a grandmaster, and you're my teammate, Remko, but you're not as good or whatever, right? I get to say this, rook. That means you move a rook. I don't tell you where to move it. I don't tell you what to do with it. You got to figure it out. I might say pawn, and you go, okay, well, which pawn? I don't know. You got to figure that out. So you work as a team in that regard. He might say bishop, and then I've moved the bishop, and he's like, not There, you dumbass, right? I also did it with Jen Shahadi, who's a chess champion as well, against Liv Marie. I got smoked back then. Because like she kept saying, like, I'm very bad at chess. She kept saying, like, I'm like, all right, I'm thinking she's gonna say knight. And she goes, bishop. What? Bishop. Okay, I moved the bishop. And then it's like, all right, well now she's gonna say knight. She goes, bishop. And I was like, just move the bishop. And then she's like, bishop. She said bishop 5 times. And I was like, where the fuck do you put this bishop? I don't know where it goes. So I can see a lot of fun, crossover for sure with chess. I think a lot of chess masters, obviously they love strategy games, and poker's a little different. Like some of them have told me, like Gotham's, into playing poker because you can actually make money doing that. But he says he finds it difficult and he hates sucking at things, right? And I was like, well, it's just like the one thing I say chess and poker have in similarities. Just like it just takes time and experience. Like I started playing chess 2-3 years ago. I don't know, something in that neighborhood, and I sucked. I started to get a little bit better. Then I get worse. Then I get a little bit better. And then I try a new thing, and it's just like a golf swing. Whenever you sort of make a change, you get worse for a while before you get better. And so like that would always happen to me when I tried something new because I was doing it wrong. Now I'm trying this new thing. Do you guys play chess?
I mean, I'm trying to learn the Vienna game, so I'm trying to get better.
So I just watched Queen's Gambit. That was it.
There's this new move because I like tricky, funky shit. I use this Danish Gambit, which gives away 2 pawns right away. And then with black, I was doing a very safe Sicilian, just like boring. And he's like, since you like gambits, try the England Gambit. England, like Englund. So I was like, all right. So basically that one is the guy plays his pawn. You just give him a pawn right away. You just let him have it. Then he takes it. And then you bring your horsey, your knight out. He brings his knight out. Okay. Then you take your queen, you put it in front of the king, and you attack that pawn. So then if he goes with his bishop and tries to protect the pawn, you can take your queen over to the right, and then you check the king, and you have a shot at his bishop. So that's track number 1. Like he could just lose his bishop on that hole. If he's smart and he takes his bishop and puts it back, okay, to protect his king, then you go right up and you take a pawn and you're attacking his rook. So there's a whole bunch of fun stuff I'm learning how to do with chess. But a poker, yeah, like I can't wait. Now that I've gotten a lot better at poker, it's like one of the biggest benefits of this challenge. And right now it really hasn't cost me, as far as lessons go, like, I'm stuck 550 and he's basically like, if he plays this, he's basically saying like, here's an extra 200K. So it'll be even cheaper. So yeah, like, I mean, I think I'm going to do really, really well when I get back to playing super high roller bowls, because I think that a lot of what I've learned here is very transferable to playing, against the really good players in the super high rollers. Like I was already competent and felt good, but then there was definitely some spots where I'm just like, I don't know, I guess I'll just fold. I don't know. Now I have a better understanding of what guys like Chidwick and Jason Kuhn and, Ike Hacks and like what they're doing and why, and understanding better how to defend against it. So that'll be really, really good. And then I can, of course, use my tournament instincts that I've had for 20 odd years in terms of like how to play short stacks and different things like that. So it will be fun to get back into tournament poker, which is my love. And then hopefully, if we can get this vaccine moving, we get the World Series of Poker, and I'll be looking to get back to that. I mean, I'm hopeful, but like, Nevada's a little slow in getting it done, but it would be nice. Maybe not in July, but maybe they move it back to August, September, whatever it is. Like, it'd be really, really fun. But I'm not going nowhere. Like, I mean, I know that he's not loving poker. I love it. Like, I'm enjoying this. Like, I really didn't want to quit so early, but it's just like, just really stupid for me not to at least look at a guy coming with me with a completely new strategy. You know what I mean? So my agreement with him was always play at least 2-hour sessions. We did that. My agreement is no longer to continue. So we quit until Wednesday. And then if I'm prepared, better prepared for this strategy, the previous one, any new ones, then Wednesday we'll go balls to the wall, and we'll play against the check tiger, toothless tiger.
Look forward to that. So would you jump in, if we can't open up live poker in the foreseeable future, but it's safe to travel, you get the vaccine, would you mix it up in the online super high roller tournaments with these guys, with the, Jason Kuhn's, Ike Haxtons of the world?
Yeah, I mean, on GGPoker, I know they have like the biggest, they have all these massive buy-in tournaments all the time that I'd love to play. Obviously, I would have to make I'd have to travel. So we're going to have to wait a little bit because we're not going nowhere, right? We are
locked down.
The wifey. But yeah, no, I mean, like we've been doing so good with this staying home thing for so long that like we can ride it out, wait it out. Hopefully everyone's vaccinated soon and we can go back to living a normal life. Doug, doesn't it feel like the world is a little more normal in the last 4 days. I really
I
does.
wonder why.
Like the last 4 or 5 days, it's felt like there's like little drama in the world. It's a little more peaceful. Things seem relatively normal. So maybe this is a sign of normalcy going forward.
I think it all looks good for the 2021 World Series of Poker. I think it all looks good. Have you heard from Brent Hanks since yesterday's Bills loss, or is he in an alley somewhere?
He was hurt. Did you guys have any hands you remember that you thought were interesting? Because there wasn't many.
In the chat, let us know. I mean, you went through the King Jack versus Ace 10 spot. We had the big flip with the threes versus the Ace King. I don't know where I'm going.
A lot of the interesting hands like didn't get to showdown, so I can't share. You know, like exactly what we had in there. I got in trouble for the last post game where I was fucking little.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, a little bit. They're like, why you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just comfortable, like just chatting with the guys, and then realize like, oh shit, he watches this too. So,
I'll throw you one final question from my hand. You are, as you said, grinding out a win if he continues to play like this. And you mentioned earlier that it might not be as entertaining to watch for us, for the fans. But is it also a bit more of a drag and not as much fun for you to play?
Right. Initially, I think that's true. Right. Because obviously I enjoyed the big swings of like losing 300K. I enjoyed it even though it sucked. And then winning to 390, like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like you get your heart gets, pumped up when you're playing these big pots, and like I do anyway, because I'm an emotional guy. So this kind of match will just be more like a grind, where like, you feel like a leather ass. It reminds me of like back in the day, way back in the day, playing Limit Hold'em. Like the 20-40 game and 40-80 games were like, jamming. You had 5-6-way action, all that stuff. The 10-20 game was like super nitty, a lot of blind stealing, all that stuff. But like on a short bankroll, I'm like, that 10-20 game, I'm just never going to lose. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just never going to lose. Just like, I won't win much, but I'll chop out like $120. I'll chop out $80. The 20-40 game, back in the day, I could lose, 2,000, but I could also win 2-3 racks, So just a different mindset in terms of like, you basically, like in like football or sports, you sort of take what the opponent gives you, right? And when a player plays passive like that, then you can start to play, more aggressive, I guess, and take advantage that way, or vice versa, or, whatever the case may be. If the defense is playing the run, you throw, and whatever else. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll be really curious to see how he feels about this approach and whether he thinks it's actually like winning or not, because he may have a totally different take than I do. Because like for me, it was not good. Like, I thought he played not good. So we'll see. Maybe he thinks he did. Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
really go ahead.
Yeah, one hand that Steve brought up in the chat. What about the Ace Jack of Spades, where you went spade and you checked and he checked back? Since we don't get to see what.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, sure. So that was interesting. So he had Ace 10 offsuit. Okay. So he played, he played the 4-bet. You sometimes 4-bet with Ace 10. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Not always, but sometimes. So he 4-bets, and then the flop is good for the 4-better, right? Because it comes like 2 small cards and whatever. But I have a hand with a backdoor flush draw and Ace Jack high, which still can be the best hand. He does have, 4-bet bluffs too. So I'm check calling. He's betting there. Mostly I'm calling there. It's basically like in 4-bet pots, kind of in a lot of ways, the hand doesn't really start until the turn, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just like bet, call, whatever. Then the turn, I turn the spade. I check. He bets again. And now dilemma here is go ahead and raise now, or wait to hit it, right? The thing is, Ace Jack, when he bets the turn, still going to be the best hand a decent amount. Mm-hmm. Right? So check raising, if he has like King 7 or something, I just let him fold. Whereas I might be able to make a really big hero call with Ace Jack high on the river some of the time. But as played, I decided to check call. So once you check call the turn, you don't really see. What the hell is this? You don't really see many credible spots where you can like check call turn and then lead a draw completion.
Okay.
It's just not really a thing, right? You kind of always check there and, hope. And he made a good check back with the ace-10. Maybe he thought it was a little thin, thought I had spades. But, I get if I had 9s or 8s there, maybe he thinks I would just, or 7s, maybe thinks I would have just jammed it, those hands. So he figures with his 10, maybe there's no value because I'm not calling with worse. But I think he misses a couple hands that I could have that would. Like, let's say, for example, what if I had 10 jack of diamonds or 10 queen of diamonds? And I just rivered the 10. If I check that river and it goes all in, I'm calling with the 10, always. Not folding the 10. So I think that was probably, again, but it was in line with kind of how he played. It was probably a little nitty for him to just call with ace-10. But it worked out for him because obviously I was not folding the nut flush. Yeah.
Remko, anything else?
No, I think we covered it all. I'm very, very curious to see how Doug will play in the Wednesday session.
Same.
And I will be very, very disappointed if the remaining however many sessions we need to get to the end of this are going to be a steady one buy-in per session grind.
Although if it is one buy-in per session, I do just basic math working it out in my head, it would be very, very close at the end, I do believe. So the doors
win the buy-in every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't always go like that, but maybe it goes like that when he plays this way. I don't know. Thanks for the time as always, Daniel. We'll see you on Wednesday. Okay.
All right, boys. Peace.
All right, there he goes. That is Daniel Negreanu winning about 47K this session. Puts him down for the overall high stakes feud, about $575,000. Remko, sum it all up for us, my good man.
I think that if this is the turning point where Doug turns into, as Daniel said, Grandma Doug, then we are in for a very special next couple of sessions. I saw some talk in the chat about Doug saying in his post-match interview, that this was his new playing style, that he's not looking for any high variance spots. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to check the tape on that to make sure. But basically, if that's what this means for the continuation of this challenge, I will fully respect Doug's decisions because money is money and we can't, look into other people's bankrolls. But as a fan and as a commentator, I would be disappointed because this whole, high stakes feud has brought so much excitement to us, and last Friday being the best example of that I am just hoping that Daniel finds a way to pierce through the Olympic strategy and to make some big things happen to make this a close match again, or otherwise, I hope that Doug goes back to his old playing style and that we see some more six-figure swings, because ultimately, and I think I can speak for everyone in the chat, that's what we are watching for.
Very curious, as Remko said, to see how it plays out on Wednesday. That is the next time we will see you all. So we thank Remko for joining us on commentary. We thank our fantastic crew. We got producer James, executive producer James, I should say, leading the way, along with John and Michael at GG. Carlin running the show for us. Eric, our replay producer, I think is a perfect title for Eric. We've got Jeff, we've got Patrick, we've got Alex, and Jeff, again, that's Brogy or Brugy or something like that. We'll work on the pronunciation. Most importantly, thanks so much to you all for watching us. We very much appreciate it. We will see you on Wednesday, but GG Poker content is back tomorrow right here on this very channel. It's the Super Millions final table, Rotterdam and Nananoko on the call, and we will see you then. Have a great night.